American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more. And then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Ooh, clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable...
Who we got?
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher, we're clearly different.
Oh, you mean?
Or at FisherInvestments.com.
Yeah.
Securities involved.
Are you talking on the phone or are you talking?
Get huge savings on our best selection of new Hondas during our Honda President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Yeah, Chuck will be up here. Yeah. We can get him in person, right?
We have Wi-Fi all over the house, even in my hiding spots.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Bill Winnington, too. Yeah.
How?
That's wall-to-wall Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Now through March 21st, get started with 200 megabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless bill and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity.
Man, KJ young, huh?
A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere.
He's 34.
When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints of the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
KHTK Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake on your radio at 11:40 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
Kings back home tonight at the Golden One Center, and what a triumphant homecoming it will be after Friday night. Kyle Draper had the call. Kyle, what happened? Where did that come from?
Hey, our boy Money Malik Monk, yes, came alive, and it all happened because of that Rudy Gobert shove. Did you see that?
Yes.
Gobert had the big dunk, running back down the floor, gave my boy Malik a little shoulder shove, and after that, Malik said, game on. And that dude hopped in the phone booth, switched on the Superman cape, and came out and rescued the Kings.
Yeah, you and Katie were on that right after it happened.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Katie especially said, that's the guy you don't want to shove.
Right, exactly. And, it's like you got to let sleeping dogs lie. Malik just having a so game, not really having a major impact. And then bam, after that, I'm trying to think of who he looked like. He looked like LeBron back in 2012 against the Celtics when he dropped 45 at the Garden. He looked like a man possessed, and there was no being denied.
There was just so many times in that game where it looked like they almost won. They had their chance. You know, like when Malik missed the shot at the end of regulation, like, wow, you're going to wish you had that one back. Didn't matter. When Sabonis fouls out. So many times. Like, that might be it. And it wasn't. And they just took care of business.
You know, you're right about that Malik possession to potentially win the game. I was like, what was that? Like, it was like, Minnesota had a chance. And I'm like, man, you played so well. You got in this game. You know, you're about to get this win. And sure enough, you know, the game kept going. And even to start overtime, Kings picked up a couple of quick fouls, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we got send these guys to the line. But man, give credit to Malik, Davion, all the guys really. Like, I thought everybody had their moments. Even Trey Lyles with some big rebounds and big defensive plays. I thought everybody contributed the other night.
Yeah, and you gave us a little bit of an inkling of what might have been going on when you guys left
Denver, right? Yes.
Well, we had an extra long team meet. No,
film session,
right?
And kind of the way you said,
it was extra long. I'm playing some going.
Yeah,
team
meeting. Yeah, and you know, I it's about time, you know, because and Mike Brown talked about it. You know, the players got to take some ownership. Like, at some point, the players have to look at each other and say, "What the heck is going on? We need to be better." And so, all accounts, this was their first team meeting. You know, I've been on the road with these guys. It's never been like this. And that hour and a half long film session to me was the signal. Like, I've been in film sessions.
Yeah.
20 minutes, half hour at the most, not an hour and a half. And but you know, Whitey, and I want to give the guys some credit because you hear teams have, we're going to have a team meeting, players only meeting, and it doesn't change anything. It looked like that players only meeting. We saw it manifest itself on the floor Friday against Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. I think the Kings, they broke one of the cardinal rules of team meetings to me, which is when you call a team meeting, you want to make sure you're probably going to win the next game. So to do that in Minnesota, that was bold. Obviously, came through. They won that game in Minnesota. But to me, you always want to be careful.
Yeah.
You know, those are big deals. If you have a team meeting and everyone's like, all right, let's lay it all out there how we're feeling. Then you go out and you get mollywopped. It's like you almost go backwards.
Right.
So that was bold.
What do you do then?
Yeah,
right.
Right.
Like, all right.
We got nothing.
Another
now.
team meeting?
Yeah.
Like, yes. And so to do what they did without De'Aaron Fox, and I know Anthony Edwards didn't play in the second half. You know, we understand that. But we didn't have our guy the whole game, De'Aaron Fox. And we've talked about who's going to get a bucket. When the system breaks down, who's going to step up? Well, Malik Monk has shown the ability to be that guy. And we've seen it from time to time. Lakers game, last year, 176, 175, and then Friday against Minnesota, where Malik can take over a game. Think about this. You had Karl Anthony Towns.
Mm-hmm.
You had half of Anthony Edwards. You had Rudy Gobert. But Malik Monk was the best player on the court that day.
And it wasn't even close, was it? It was not even close. You know who else was great in that game? And it got lost, obviously, in Malik's great game. But how about Davion Mitchell, the game he had?
Yes, my guy, Davion Mitchell.
7 of 8, got to the basket.
Hit his first
at will.
Shots. And that's what he has to do, though. Like, he can't defer or be scared or, unwilling to shoot. Like, and I'll talk about this coming up in just a little bit, but give Mike Brown credit too. I thought Keon set the tone early with his defense early. He picked up some fouls, but that allowed Davion to go back to his natural spot. And that showed me he did it against Minnesota. This wasn't against Charlotte. He did it on the road in Minnesota. And so far as I'm concerned, Davion, I know you're listening right now, getting ready for tonight's game. I know you're chiming in, checking us out, but we need to see this, Davion. Like, when you look at some of the best teams in the NBA, the backup point guard position is key. And I know Malik serves that role, but Davion could do that also. I look at Memphis when Tyus Jones was there and John Morant was running the one. Tyus Jones had an impact, even though he was the backup point guard, led the league multiple years and assisted turnover. I want Davion Mitchell, people to look at him and say, man, he'd start on 20 other teams or something like that. Because, I mean, you draft a guy, a lottery pick number 9, you expect that out of him.
I was saying last week that when the Kings aren't playing well, there's so many guys on the bench that Coach Brown has to make a choice on, and it's a matter of, do I want offense or defense? Right. So many guys, when they're not playing well, it's like, that guy doesn't bring me much offense. I know he defends. Davion's been one of those guys at times, but he's also shown this year he's kind of had some bust-out moments offensively. Then you got a real asset on your hands when he's scoring.
If he can score the basketball, and we're not saying go to get 20 a night, give me 10 a night. I'll take 10 a night, Davion. Knock down a couple of threes, and because we know about his defense. And, you know, I look at a guy like Kevin Huerter, let's say. The reason, like, Kevin Huerter would have still been starting back in the day if he would have knocked down shots. If you're knocking down shots and play a modicum of defense, just
there's a spot.
There's a spot for you. And the issue with Davion is he hasn't been giving you that offense of push that you need, and he did the other night, though.
I think there's 2 great things about that win in Minnesota. What do you think? One is when you win a game like that, it's like you make up for one of the games earlier in the year that you kicked.
Okay, I give you that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to win every game. But when you win a game like that, especially without your best player playing the top seed in the West, it makes up at least somewhat for one of those, we don't have to go over the list again, but one of those losses where it's like, what happened? And then the other thing is, obviously right now, given that you won that game and then Phoenix lost last night, right now the Kings are 6th. They floated back to the 6th spot.
I love it. I mean, everybody went down last night. Phoenix went down. Lakers went down.
Dallas went down.
Dallas went down. Golden State went down in Boston. It was a perfect Sunday, a perfect weekend for the Sacramento Kings. Imagine just being able to win on Friday, put your feet up, chill, sit back, spend time with your family, wake up Monday. Oh, we're number 6 in the standings. It was a great weekend for Sacramento.
Well, Drapes, what happened to your Warriors yesterday? They got
that
was amazing.
I didn't get to watch it, but my son, who's a huge Celtics fan, we're driving and he's got it on his phone, and Dad, it's 44-22 at the end of 1. I'm like, yes, like it was beautiful to see. And I understand the Warriors were shorthanded, but the Celtics didn't even have Kristaps Porzingis. And how about the defense? The defensive game plan on Jaylen Brown. Did you hear what they said afterwards?
I saw it. You saw like, what are they doing? Yeah, Jaylen Brown would be out on the perimeter, and Draymond Green's like, I'm not guarding.
Yeah,
like that was their strategy.
What do we do? Like that. I don't want to say that's a fireable offense, Steve Kerr. Great coach, got the extension.
Western Conference coach of the
Western Conference coach of the month.
Whatever
week or month. Month, I think it is. But what is that like? That's Jaylen Brown. That's an all-NBA performer. That's like saying, you know what? And you know how it is in today's NBA. If a guy has a wide open 3, like, God, that's so disrespectful. And the Warriors got embarrassed on national TV, and Steph was a non-factor. And so I don't know if it says as much about, man, the Celtics are great, because I think they are, but the Warriors aren't the Warriors. Like, everybody's like, oh, they're back. Watch out.
Yeah.
No. Like, their schedule's been light as far as I'm concerned. They've benefited from other teams being injured. And so that was nice to see.
Yeah, don't want to slight Coach Kerr. You're right. He was a coach of the month for February. But yesterday, it looked like, Kyle, the Warriors went into that game thinking, this is the end of a long trip for us.
Yeah.
We probably don't have much of a chance anyway. So, you know what? Let's try something crazy. We're not going to guard Jaylen Brown. And if that gets in his head a little bit, it disrupts their offense, and then we're in the game. And instead, Jaylen Brown looked at that and said, what are you doing?
Okay.
And the Warriors got absolutely, they got disemboweled. It was like, I wanted to see a somewhat close game.
Yeah.
I recognize this is a tall task for the Warriors, but it's like, oh my goodness.
Unbelievable. Like, I get it. Long road trip, into the road trip. Now, if you want to sag off Derek White, make him a shooter, I get it. Even Drew Holiday But Jaylen freaking Brown, like what?
And they stuck with it. That's the other thing.
Right.
You think after a couple minutes when he's destroying you, you go, all right, that's not working. But no, they doubled down on it. So anyway, yeah. Bottom line, as you say, the Kings rising up those Western Conference standings.
You buying right now? You chips all in on the Kings? We gotta wait till tonight. We gotta wait to see what happens. That's the thing. I don't know what I'm gonna see tonight.
Yeah.
You think riding high, team meeting, De'Aaron Fox hopefully back tonight, went through practice yesterday, shoot around today. You would think they would win tonight.
He's got to be back, right? I mean, I'm not implying there's anything like, I'm not implying that he's, jaking it or something if he doesn't play. But my point is, if he went through practice and he went through shoot around,
yeah, right. That's the thing. Went through practice yesterday. Apparently, came out of it okay. Enough to do shoot around today. So yes, in my opinion, he has to be. He spoke to the media as well yesterday. Right. Usually, when a guy is out with an injury or something, you don't really have him talk to the media. So that's an encouraging sign.
Yeah. Then we also found out, speaking to the players, media talking to the players, that Trey Lyles was the one who called that team meeting. Does that surprise you at all?
Not at all. Not at all. Because Trey is.
I thought you were the one that called it. So
no, I do. Trust me. I was looking at Mike Brown like, Mike, call me up. Let me say a few things to the team. Seriously, like you gotta, have some cojones out there. But here's the thing we know about Trey. He's quiet. I get it. You don't see, but there's a fire burning under him. We saw it last year against Milwaukee when him and Lopez got into it. Trey Lyles. You talk to the players behind the scenes, he's a jokester. He's he's more vocal than what we see on the court. And I'm glad it was him, to be honest with you, because I think, let's say if Malik called it. Well, Malik's always talking. He's always, Trey Lyles is kind of quiet, cerebral about the way he plays. And if Trey Lyles speaks,
gotcha,
then that carries some weight, kind of, And so, no, I'm happy he did that.
This team, man, how do you win at Minnesota when you go 13 for 24 at the foul line?
Why you got to bring up bad stuff? Why you got to bring up?
Well, I'm just pointing out this team is you just can't figure them out.
You really can't. And our boy Malik Monk,
I know,
missed too late, and I'm like, what? Domas, I think missed a few, and so it's head scratch.
It's a W,
right?
is what it is.
It's a W, and I think we're at the point in this season, Whitey, when you're 58 games in or whatever it is. We just got to be like, you know what? A win is a win.
Yep.
Take the wins however you can get them, especially in a stacked Western Conference.
Drapes Takes are coming up when we come right back to the Golden One Center to Drive Guys. Happy Monday, if there is such a thing, on Sactown Sports.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the newly designed Callaway Chrome Tour line of golf balls, offering outstanding tour performance. From cover to core, Chrome Tour is the new gold standard tour ball for players who want the best in distance and feel. Chrome Tour is engineered for outstanding performance with exceptional speed, consistent flight, incredible spin, and greenside control. Ask about the full line of Callaway Chrome Tour golf balls at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
Down Sports.
Woo! Got the Kings and the Bulls tonight. Easy win, right? Yeah, I hope. Drapes Takes coming up in just a moment. First, I want to mention, have you ever had to do anything for sleep apnea? Have you ever had any treatment for that? Or last night I had to My wife says that I stop breathing when I'm sleeping. I think I'm fine. But anyway, last night I went through the test thing.
Yeah.
So I'm hooked up. I got the thing on my finger, and I got the thing around my chest, and I got the thing in my nose. It's like it's hard to sleep that way.
No, I've not. No, that's
just
how'd
the
it go?
test.
How'd it go?
I think it was fine. Yeah, other than all the I don't know yet.
The results yet?
I thought I'll have to do it one night, right? That we recommend you do it 3 nights. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
That's
so. Yeah,
you got to lay on your back, kind of thing, or
I laid on my side. But yeah, can you imagine if you try to roll over? It's like
you got oh man,
wires all over the place.
Dude, Whitey, I did it like a year and a half or so ago. Same thing.
Yeah.
You know, I only did it once though. They only asked me to do it once, and I was good. So 3 times. That's a lot there, brother.
Yeah, that's. I think I may just send them send it back, send the kit back. Say I could only do it once,
right?
Because I think I aced it. So
you passed the test.
I don't know, but
flying colors.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't do anymore. Anyway, that brings us to Drape's Takes.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
JJ, hold up. Cut the music. I'm not ready for Drape's Takes yet. I'm not ready. I'm upset. This should be a happy Monday.
Yes.
We got a big game today.
Yes.
We're coming off a major win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. It should be sunshine and rainbows.
I agree.
Today, right?
Yes.
Everybody should be happy.
Yes.
All the callers on the text line
Cheerful.
and YouTube, everybody should be happy. Well, what happens when I look at the text?
Oh, no.
916-339-1140. Let me just read this before I get to Drape's Takes. And this is the kind of stuff I don't need from Kings fans today. I'm talking about sunshine and rainbows, lollipops.
Yes.
I got a good parking spot downstairs. I like my outfit today. So I'm flying
This
high
is a day
right
to
now.
celebrate.
But this Yahoo on the text line. Okay, so Monk had a fabulous second half, but let's be real. That was the worst play and such a terrible shot at end of regulation. Bad coaching, ? Selfish play. All I know is that's not winning basketball. That's from Folsom Mike. He put his name on it.
Thank you for putting your name on it.
Can I just say, and Folsom Mike, I appreciate you listening, but you coming to the wrong place with that slander. At least wait till the 3rd hour to come with that. How you going to start off the show with that, Whitey? How the first text we get is going to be Folsom Mike? Well, Mike Brown, bad coaching. Like, that is so up. Kings fans, what are we doing? And I know it's not all of you. It's this one guy. But Whitey, what are we?
I think it's there's a Kings fan there.
Something's going on in his life at home.
He's
That's
afraid
what
to let his guard down. This team will do that to you, you know? It's like everything's fine. Everything's terrible. Everything's fine. Everything's great. And it's Folsom Mike saw that everything's great, but there's part of him was like, I'm not buying it. I don't believe it.
He said bad coaching, ?
That's the thing.
Selfish play. All I know is that's not winning basketball. Guess what, Folsom Mike? They won the game.
Yeah.
Apparently it is winning basketball. You won the game. You played the game to win.
May I address one thing there before? Because I know I have Drape's Takes coming up. Here's the deal. Bad coaching on that last possession. Malik Monk was getting whatever he wanted. The play was, now they didn't draw anything up. That's true, but it was Malik. You're going to get a switch. You're going to get a big on you. Score. And Malik didn't make a very good play.
He got the switch, right?
He got the switch.
Right.
That's what the play. That's how they set it up. So Coach Brown got what he wanted.
Right.
You could argue Malik should have done something different, maybe drive to the basket.
Yeah.
But it wasn't coaching was not to blame there. And you know what? It didn't matter because they won the freaking game.
Exactly. And so that brings me, Jay, to my first Drape's Takes. Please run the music.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down.
Got me upset.
Take it
You
easy.
all right?
Man.
Blood pressure.
Take it easy.
Blood pressure.
Can you continue?
Yes, I can.
All right.
Because I'm going to give some love to my guy, Mike Brown, right off the jump. Folsom Mike. I thought Mike Brown made a brilliant coaching move, inserting Keon Ellis into the starting lineup. I thought Keon's energy to start that game on the defensive end, sure, he picked up some fouls, but I thought that was critical in this game. And the point guard spot, I'm talking about Keon and Davion Mitchell, was a strength. Those two guys outplayed Mike Conley. So I thought Mike Brown's decision to go with Keon and still bring Davion off the bench was critical.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And how about, tip of the cap to Keon Ellis, too. One of those guys like, you're not playing, you're not playing, you're not playing, you're not playing. You're starting against Minnesota, and he came through.
He came through in a big way. He had 4 steals in that game, Whitey, I believe it was.
He was the defense player of the game, right?
Yes, he was because he set the tone out there. And you saw, they had the team meeting. You saw the sense of urgency. A lot of times we talk about the head of the snake and who's the tone setter, who's the leader. I thought Keon and his energy in that game was huge for the Sacramento Kings. Also, I'll give some love to my guy Davion Mitchell while we're talking about it right here. I mean, to play 25 minutes and change and make your first 7 shots, he scored 16 points. I thought that was massive in this game, and I'd like to see more of that from Davion.
Yeah, they don't win that game without Davion Mitchell going 7th rate. And again, we haven't seen him get to the basket that much. Drive and take the ball to the hoop, and it was successful.
It was very successful. Also want to give a shout out to my guy, Domantas Sabonis. Remember, I told you every Drapes Take, I'm going to mention Domantas Sabonis.
Yes.
Because we got to give this guy his flowers. What's interesting, because
no one else is going to.
Nobody else is doing it. Remember, I got an email during the pregame show from some lady saying, how come you guys don't talk about Domantas Sabonis? I met that lady at the game here in Sacramento last week. She said, Kyle, I'm the lady that emailed you. So I said, you know what? Every time Domantas Sabonis plays, we got to give him his flowers. He's battling Rudy Gobert. He's battling Karl Anthony Towns. He's battling Naz Reid. 21 points, 15 rebounds. This guy brings it every single night. And he gets hit in the man region during the game. Remember that?
Well, it's like Chris Watkins said on Twitter. He got hit right in the Sabonis.
Yeah. He went out, but they came back and put in work.
That was a bad one, too.
It was a bad. I felt that one, too.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to address it on air because, like my Adam's apple started moving up in my throat. Like it was like I couldn't breathe. I was choking there after I saw my guy get hit. So give Domantas Sabonis a lot of credit.
Yeah, he sets the tone for this team in terms of courage and grit every single night.
My last Drapes Take, and it's not about Malik Monk. Malik's going to get most of the show. We're going to talk about him. You guys are going to call in about him. You're going to give him a love. Even people on the text line right now saying Malik Monk for 6th man of the year. I'm with you. He rubber stamped that. But is Rudy Gobert maybe the most unlikable player in the NBA? He's got to be up there. He good player, future Hall of Famer, maybe defensive player of the year once again. I don't know. But him flexing and begging for fouls and acting like some big tough guy, I was over that. Like, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He missed the dunk. He thinks he should have got fouled. Comes back and dunks on Malik Monk or somebody, like a smaller guy, and then flexes. Dude, come on with that. How come you didn't do that against Sabonis? Rudy Gobert, and I've defended him. He's sort of been an unlikable character in the NBA ever since COVID. That whole situation. And I've defended him. But he irked me the other day. I'm like, you're not no tough guy. Don't try flexing on my guy Malik Monk. You're not about that. That's not you.
Yeah, the guys that are tough guys that aren't popular, like I know you like Dylan Brooks, Marcus Smart, they're not overly popular in other cities, but they are what they are. Rudy Gobert, it seems a little disingenuous. Like Rudy Gobert is trying to show us that he's something that he really isn't.
Right.
That's what it seems like.
Just play your ball. And maybe he needs to do that for himself or to get himself excited, jacked up. He had a nice game, but man, that tough guy stuff, I'm not with. I got a bonus Drapes Take, though, real quick.
All right.
For the YouTube chat. I see you out there.
They all want to know if you have a new wallet.
Compio, Ryan Williams are. I do not have a new wallet. I have not had the time to go.
Does Kyle have a trucker wallet with a chain on it that connects to his belt?
Dude, leave my wallet alone. I need one. Can somebody you want to send one into the station? Look up the station's website. The address.
Got to be a wallet endorsement we can get for you.
Dude, who makes wallet? I don't even know a wallet manufacturer. Give me one name outside of like Calvin Klein or something like that who manufactures wallets.
Nerd wallet, but that's not even a wallet. That's not even a wallet.
Exactly. So I see you guys. No, I did not get a wallet yet. Quiet as it's kept. I've been driving around Sacramento without a driver's license also. So don't tell anybody.
It's not like anybody knows what kind of car you drive. Hi, Kyle Draper for my new Mercedes-Benz.
A short drive right down I-5. So, I had to go to Stockton yesterday, actually. They gave me a loaner car because I got a flat tire. So they're changing that out for me. So
wow. Okay.
An unbelievable couple of weeks,
Yeah,
bro.
another nice car. No, I'm going on the road tomorrow, so I said, here, y'all keep my car for the week. I'll pick it up Thursday or Friday. I got a sweet ride downstairs. I may have to cut in a commercial just for that car, too.
Kang says my wallet is Fossil. Pretty nice. So there's a wallet maker.
Kang's
Fossil.
Fossil.
Yeah.
I thought they were
make purses
watches
and
back in
things.
like 30 years ago in the 90s.
No, I
they
think
still
there's
out there?
Isn't there a Fossil outlet store in
No way.
yeah,
Is there?
Vacaville or somewhere?
Really?
I think.
Yeah, they still
I
alive.
go
I
there.
went there once.
Oh my God, Fossil is still out there, huh?
I think so.
Oh man,
yeah, they
Ryan
are.
Williams Art. Draper, I'm coming to the game on Sunday. I ain't gonna be here. I ain't trying to face you, man. This dude, he rides me so much.
Gonna
Long as my
be a
daughter gets that
showdown.
A, I don't care though. She best get the A in history. That's all I'm saying. All right.
All right. Cutting to the chase
That's
here.
it.
All this good feeling. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Drape Steaks.
Yeah.
For 3. All this good feeling and everything, and some of the ill will is behind us now. You gotta win tonight, right? Right? Keep it going. Build on this. Not just for the sake of
I'm
fans, but the playoffs. That was the whole point of that meeting. It's like, hello, we got to take care of things
I'm
now.
not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You're not going to bamboozle me. On surface, yes. But this is a good team, Chicago. A talented team. They don't have any other guys. What are you talking about? DeMar DeRozan? Kobe White went off at 35
Williams
against
is
them.
hurt, and Levine is hurt.
But they still
Caruso
Vucevic
is hurt.
out there. Vucevic,
Mm-hmm.
former All-Star. Respect your opponent, Whitey. That's the problem. I get it. That's the problem with the Kings season. We have not been respecting the opponents. And so hopefully the Kings come in with the mindset of respect and get the win.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
But this DeRozan could go off for 40 on you. You know, Kobe White, we saw it in Chicago.
DeRozan could be one of the most underrated players of all time, actually.
All time.
Yeah. We'll see what Stacey King, broadcaster with the Bulls, thinks about that. He joins us next year from the Gold One Center to Drive Guys on a glorious celebratory Monday. Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia during their spring event and save big on your favorite models. You can even buy with zero down on approval of credit. Shop your trusted Kia dealership for over 25 years and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
When the unexpected happens, trust AutoAccident.com. Loyalty and compassion set them apart. They're with you every step of the way. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia during their spring event and save big on your favorite models. You can even buy with zero down on approval of credit. Shop your trusted Kia dealership for over 25 years and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
With NBA League Pass, you get so much game.
Even regular season games?
Yep.
Even some of the in-season tournament?
Mm-hmm.
Can I watch home and away team broadcasts?
Oh, yeah.
Can I watch from my phone while I take a long bath?
Sure.
And if my team wins, can I stand up super fast and splash water everywhere and scream, yes, that's right?
Hey, could we get a normal fan for this commercial? Subscribe at NBA.com/League Pass today. Only select out-of-market games available and local blackout restrictions apply. Additional charges and other conditions may apply. Visit nba.com/subscriber agreement for full terms and conditions.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door. At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Welcome to the March Mania sales event at Kia of Vacaville. Get ready for an extraordinary showcase of our 2024 vehicle lineup. Experience the latest in cutting-edge technology, innovative features, and the sleek Kia design that defines excellence. During March Mania, we're excited to offer unbeatable lease options on our top models. Step into the future with the all-new Kia Sportage, where captivating design meets exhilarating performance. Explore the remarkable fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel that extends your journey with every mile. Discover the luxury and versatility of the Kia Telluride, seamlessly blending sophistication with practicality. Don't miss our eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, perfect for those who prioritize efficiency without compromising on style. And with the EV9 in stock, Kia of Vacaville is your destination for electric excitement. Visit us today during March Mania and take advantage of exclusive lease deals and special offers. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit the Kia of Vacaville for more details.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg, and the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Monday forecast includes mostly cloudy skies, limited sunshine today, and there might be a brief or stray shower this afternoon. Expect daytime highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
We're coming to you from the Golden One Center, where tonight the Kings, after Friday night's incredible win over Minnesota in overtime, will be taking on the Chicago Bulls. Drapes, you know the Kings now, I believe they're, 4-1 in overtime games this year? How about that?
Yes, they are. Clutch moments, right? And that's the thing, Whitey. It's like, don't get blown out. You get to the last 2 minutes, those are good things. Like, you could usually pull it out. It's been the double-digit losses that have harmed them this season.
Yeah, obviously that's a surprise given the circumstances. So I want to ask you what surprised you the most about that. But first, why don't you bring on our special guest?
Got to bring on my guy. And everybody's like, Drapes, no, this is my guy. This is really my guy. 3-time NBA champ, 1989-90 all-rookie, host of the Gimme the Sauce Hot Sauce podcast, Stacey King, former Chicago Bull, joining the Drapes and Whitey Show, the Drive Guys here on Sactown Sports. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Kyle? Thanks for having me on, bro.
Man, I'm excited for tonight's game. Here's the thing, Stacey. Everybody's excited about my Sacramento Kings coming off a big win. My partner over here is saying, you got to win tonight, right? The Bulls are shorthanded, right? I'm like, hold up now. You got to respect the opponent. Y'all still got DeMar. You still got Vucevic. Kobe White lit us up in Chicago. Handicap this game for me, man. What's going to be the key? What are you expecting tonight?
Well, I mean, we tend to play to the level of competition lately, so the better the competition, the better we play. We went into New Orleans about a week ago and beat the Pelicans at home when everybody didn't think we were going to win. We just came off a big win against Cleveland. And then, we kind of turned around and, got our butts handed to us, so it's up and down for us right now. We got some guys out, key guys out, but, they keep fighting. We're still in the play-in race right now, trying to get to 500. So this is the start of our trip, our West Coast trip. So we like to start off on a winning note.
Stacey, we know that Kings have been pushing tempo. I think they're 12th in the league, but they've been emphasizing getting out and running more and more and more. The Bulls, the numbers say they don't necessarily like to do that. So is that going to be potentially one of the keys tonight? Which team can control that pace?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, for us, we're going to have to try to control the pace. not allow them to have easy runouts, get out in transition, try to limit our turnovers that try to keep them from running because, they thrive off that kind of play. And, getting quick shots from the opposition and then, looking to push the ball up the floor with Fox and all the athletes that they've got. I think you also have to control Sabonis. Sabonis is, I consider a poor man's Jokic. They're able to run the offense through him. He's a good passer, good screener. He makes good decisions with the ball. And I think anytime you see him bring the ball up the floor, I know it's going to be tough for Vooch, but I think you got to put some pressure on him and make him get the ball out of his hands and let somebody else create for the Kings.
Our guy Stacey King joining us. You can check him out. Give Me the Hot Sauce podcast. Stacey, Alex Caruso, man. I know he's questionable with the hamstring tonight. He was a hot topic of discussion around the trade deadline. Talk to me about just the difference he makes for this team when he's playing versus not playing and his impact on the squad.
Oh, it's a huge loss for us when he's not on the floor. I mean, he's our best defender. He can guard anybody on the floor. And, Billy tends to go with a small lineup on most nights. And he's asked to guard guys like Giannis and, Julius Randle and some of the big guys. He doesn't just guard guards. He's the leader in block shots on our team from the guard position. He's an invaluable piece. That's why a lot of people were trying to go after him in the trade deadline, because this is a guy that could really strengthen your team. If you're a team that, wants to go deep in the playoffs, this is the kind of guy you need. He's become a much better 3-point shooter than he was the year before, the last couple of years. He can run the point guard, the two. He can guard anybody on the floor. And he's just like a coach on the floor. It's like having a middle linebacker, who calls the defense. He's the guy that really sets the tone. I always joke that there's 5 Carusos out there because he's everywhere on the court. Not only does he guard his man, but he's constantly covering up for mistakes for other people, and he's always in position to draw a charge or a steal. He's one of the best at deflections in the game as far as getting in the passing lanes and getting his hands on the basketball and creating havoc and turnovers. So, if he's not out there today, that's going to be a tough go for us.
Stacey King with us here. Drive Guys coming to you from the Golden One. Stacey, a couple weeks ago when the Spurs were here, we talked to Sean Elliott. Of course, he, like you, was he came out in that 1989 draft. The Kings had the first pick in that draft. They went Purvis Ellison. So my obvious question, I know you've addressed this. Did you think at any point that you were going to be coming to Sacramento in that draft?
I really wanted to come here. I came out on my visit, and Wayman Tisdale, the late great Wayman Tisdale, former Oklahoma Sooner All-American, the best player in Oklahoma basketball history, was out here, and I really wanted to come out here. I came out on my visit, visit Jerry Reynolds, and you had the late great Bill Russell was the coach at the time when I came out, and I thought I was going to be out here. I really wanted to play out here, and I was really disappointed. I knew I was going to go 1 to 6. I wasn't going to go anywhere in between because I think those positions were already set for what the teams needed. So it was either going to be 1 or 6 to Sacramento or Chicago. And then when I heard my agent told me they were going to go with Purvis Ellison, I was disappointed, really disappointed. And, but I wasn't – that disappointment didn't last long because I ended up playing with the greatest player of all time and winning 3 championships and getting to many playoff battles. And it opened up so many doors for me. But, there's always that, guys. There's always that question: what could have been? What would have been?
Yeah.
What could I have accomplished if I would have came straight with the momentum out of college? Being a college player of the year, All-American, and the way I scored the basketball in college to come to a team that needed scoring. What my numbers would have been. I probably would average 20 plus points a game here, but I probably would not have won. I probably wouldn't have had an opportunity to play for a championship. Because you can see Sacramento, has had some ups and downs. This is a great place. The fan base, this has always been one of my favorite cities to play in because even when they weren't good, the fan base was awesome. And that's one thing I always said about Sacramento is that their fan base are true fans. And I really, really like that. And so to not get to play here kind of stunk because it's California too. And it kind of stunk, but I had to go deal with the winners in Chicago, but there's a trade-off when you win the championships and playing with the greatest.
Yeah, hey, nothing wrong with that, man. 3-time NBA champ Stacey King joining us here on the Drive, guys. Stacey, to your point, I look at a guy like Chris Duarte on our team, and he's being asked to defend, but he came into the league as a bucket getter. Yeah. How often do you think guys have to sacrifice their offense to fit in with the team and to get on the floor?
Well, it's very prevalent when you're talking about teams that are contenders, teams that are playoff caliber teams. If he's playing on a team that's not winning, he's going to be asked to do the things that he's comfortable doing. They're going to need him to score. But when you're trying to build a championship team, you need pieces. Okay, everybody can't score. Everybody can't be the man. Everybody has a pecking order. You got to know who your number 1 guy is and who your number 10 or 12th guy is. Everyone has a role. And that's one of the biggest things when I came from college, averaging almost 30 points a game, being told before I even touched the court that I wasn't being drafted to score. I was drafted to play defense, rebound, and block shots, and run the floor. That's what they brought me there. And the first thing I said was, well, why the hell did you draft me? But in order for I was a piece to a championship caliber team that was aspiring to be a championship team. So I was a piece of a puzzle, both me and BJ Armstrong. So we had to find our niche to help them win a championship. And it's hard on young players, especially because, Chris Duarte, I liked him. I liked him in Indiana. I thought he's a big guard, can do a lot of different things. And I think right now for him on this team, they need him to be the defensive stopper. They need him to be able to go in there and guard 1 or 2 different positions. And then there's going to be a time where they're going to need him to score. There's going to be a time where he may hit a couple of baskets along with his great defense that keeps him on the floor. So he just got to continue to work, continue to, put in the time and effort, and don't forget that you were a scorer once. I mean, think about all the players that have come in this league. People don't remember Marcus Smart was a scorer at Oklahoma State. People don't remember Dennis Rodman was a scorer at Southeast Oklahoma before he came into the pros. So a lot of times people have to make sacrifices in their game in order for the team to prosper. And that's the situation Chris Duarte's in. But I like his game, and I think there's a lot of teams out there that, understand what he's doing and what he brings to the table, and they appreciate it.
Stacey King with us. And Stacey, I don't know you like Drapes does, so I hope you don't mind me asking this question, but actually Drapes and I were wondering about this. How come you're not touring with some of those other former Bulls, Luke Longley and Horace Grant, going around bad-mouthing MJ?
Well, first of all, they're not bad-mouthing. Somebody misquoted that. The Bleacher Report, whatever, misquoted them. They're going on this tour, and it's they got a big following because Luke's from Australia, and they got a huge following. Sure. The Bulls are huge all over Europe. So they're able to go over there. And, it's one of those things. They're cashing in on their success being on the Chicago Bulls. And so, of course, everybody knows it's documented with Scotty and Michael, having a tip. But it's like brothers. You fight sometimes, you don't talk for a little bit. But at some point you come together and, you realize, like, this is petty, and let's put it all together. And I think they're moving towards that. From what I know about the tour, they didn't say anything bad about MJ or any of their time there. Okay. It was all positive. And, you know how social media is now, it's clickbait. Anytime somebody puts something out and they can't substantiate it, everybody starts reading into it and go, oh my God, they're still talking about Michael, and that wasn't the case.
Gotcha.
So, don't believe what's on social media, baby. Don't believe it.
Hey, man, like you said, clickbait, man. And the problem is you got all these aggregators, too. Like, one person puts it out, then everybody and their mom want to retweet, rewrite it, and all this, and then it blows up.
Yes, exactly. The narrative changes.
Let me ask you, Let me ask you this, though. Coming from Oklahoma, joining Chicago, Michael Jordan, what was that transition like? What was your welcome to the NBA moment from Mike?
Well, I met Michael when I got drafted. He flew a bunch of the top college players down to North Carolina and Charlotte to open up one of his Jumpman stores. So that was my first time meeting Michael. I mean, just like any kid, we idolized MJ because he just came through the NBA like a Haley's Comet. And, I had posters on my wall of MJ, and, we were just, we had Harvey Grant that was on my team that was, his twin Horace, which was my teammate. I was teammate with both Grants, was playing in Chicago. So we had a chance to get inside information about what kind of player Michael is, what kind of person he is. So I knew a lot about Michael before I even met him. And, I will say this about Michael, just like any perfectionist, any superstar caliber or super talented person, they expect, greatness. They want you to have the same mentality that they have, and they're going to push you. They're going to, Kobe was the same way. They're going to challenge you to be great. And if you don't have the same mindset and you don't have the same mentality that they have, you're not going to be in their inner circle. You're not going to be on their team long. And it could be overwhelming for some people, and you got to be strong mentally. I grew up in a military household, so anything MJ brought to me didn't bother me. My dad was a drill sergeant. So, and I played for a high school coach that was a Marine. So nothing he could ever do to me could upset me. So, but his competitive nature, his competitive nature rubs off on everybody. Was he always the greatest teammate? No. But one thing I will say about Michael Jordan, when it was game time, he came to play every single night. There was no nights off. There was no load management. There was no, I'm taking the night off tonight because my toenail hurts. My dog ate my homework. There's no excuses. It was, he understood what it meant to show up every night, chasing titles, trying to beat the Celtics and the Pistons, but also understood the fans. The fans deserve, you might not be able to see Michael Jordan and be able to afford tickets in Chicago, but the one time you get a chance to see him, he sits out and he's eating hot dogs or popcorn on the sideline, and that might be the only time you ever see him. He understood that. Even in preseason, he didn't sit out preseason games. So that's the one thing I always say about MJ. Right. You can say whatever you want to about him, but the guy brought it every night, every day in practice.
Stacey, the producer is like, Kyle, you got to go to break. I'm going to let you off the hook because I was going to ask you Jordan or LeBron. I was going to say Jordan.
Oh, Jordan, you got to ask me twice.
No, hold up, Stace. Let me get the question. LeBron just dropped 40,000 points on the league, big dog. What's it going to take for him to, surpass Michael Jordan?
Listen, he came in as an 18-year-old, so he's got about 3 years of extra time on MJ. MJ went to go play baseball, chase curveballs. MJ could have easily probably got 40,000. So, and in this league too, if MJ and Kobe were playing this league, I guarantee you that number would have been chased by those guys. But listen, I'm not going to discredit anything LeBron James. LeBron James and his generation is going to go down as the greatest player in his generation. But the greatest player in any generation, there's going to be arguments from people that played with Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Oscar Robertson, Kareem. But in my generation is Michael Jordan, and I consider him the best of all time.
Stacey, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Have a great call tonight. When we come back, what happened at the Kings team meeting and who called it? Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
It's a toss to McCaffrey, a cutback run 30, breaks 340. McCaffrey midfield. McCaffrey 40, 30, 20. It just got all the way down to the 3-yard line on the first play of the game. CMC Dynamite!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you've got to admire the commitment. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided in service by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
I am James, Senior Apparel Designer, and this is Behind the Design with Hawks. Hawks is your classic workwear brand. It's designed for those guys that are on the job site. Just driven performance, just rugged and comfortable. Thinking of durability, everything is either double, triple stitched, bar tacked. It's build durable, it's going to perform, it's going to move with you, it's going to have everything that you need in a product. Hawks, only at Boot Barn.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. There are a lot of great dads out there. Sometimes those dads get divorced. For more than 30 years, we've represented men in divorce, confronting the pitfalls that could devastate your finances or harm your family relationships. While every situation is different, our goal is to get the best outcome for you and your kids. Visit CordellCordell.com to take the first step.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2120, Sacramento, California, 95814. Online at CordellCordell.com.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin Ultra Soft on the potty, this is supposed to roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The grip is always stopped. It's our party vice. Everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the newly designed Callaway Chrome Tour line of golf balls, offering outstanding tour performance. From cover to core, Chrome Tour is the new gold standard tour ball for players who want the best in distance and feel. Chrome Tour is engineered for outstanding performance with exceptional speed, consistent flight, incredible spin, and greenside control. Ask about the full line of Callaway Chrome Tour golf balls at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints of the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
Fidium Fiber Internet is fast becoming a hometown favorite. With a dedicated connection and speeds up to 2 gigs, Fidium is winning over fans every day. Plans start at just $25 a month, so everyone can experience the best internet in the game. Visit FidiumFiber.com.
Welcome to the President's Day sale, happening now at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Celebrate with us and get huge savings on our giant selection. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
1 ticket, 2 shows, the Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Exposition, plus the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. March 7th through 10th. Find discounts at twohugeshows.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Thanks for being with us. Just had a really interesting conversation with Stacey King, former Chicago Bull, a guy who thought he might be drafted by the Kings with the first pick in 1989. Drapes, I want to ask you the same question you asked him. Now that LeBron hit the 40,000 point mark on Saturday, so how do you answer the question? Who's better, Jordan or LeBron?
To me, I have been on record as saying this, and I will say it one more time. LeBron James.
I just don't know how you run out of arguments to make as he continues to amass these incredible numbers on top of everything else.
The only argument Jordan has against LeBron is 6-4. And maybe you could say all defense. Outside of that, LeBron blows Jordan. Points.
Yeah.
Assist. Finals appearances. You know, Jordan has the 6 MVPs, LeBron has 4. Like, to be not only the greatest scorer in the NBA, but also to be top 5 in assists too. Think about that. That is just and so if I'm drafting a team right now, and those guys are in there, give me LeBron James.
There's an inevitability to it, and I think that's one reason why MJ decided to produce The Last Dance. I think he saw it coming. He's like, man,
I got to remind
I can't.
people.
Yeah, this guy keeps coming and coming and coming, and I haven't played in so long. Yeah, I got to show everybody what I did.
I would love to hear the argument for Jordan outside of 6-4. Give me something else.
Well, Stacey King gave us a little bit of it, which was if Jordan were playing now, he would have 40.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know. If LeBron was playing then, we haven't seen the size, the ability, the handles. You know what I mean? Like
40,000, 20,000. Like, wow, that's a great career. And
he had 2 Hall of Fame careers basically.
Yeah.
Because once you hit 20,000, you're knocking on the door for the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And he's still going. I mean, what? 19 All NBAs? Like, think about this, right? Like, it's going to be 20 probably this year.
Right.
Being an All NBA performer every year, but your rookie year.
Yeah.
That's just it's. I just give it to LeBron. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's
we've seen both in their prime. It's not like we're some 16-year-old. We've actually seen both.
There's different ways to answer it, and one of the ways I find myself looking at it now is how are fans in the future going to look at this?
Yes.
And that's why I say when you look at the volume of work that LeBron has amassed and how incredibly impressive it is and unparalleled. It's like, I don't know how in the future anyone could say, yeah, but that Jordan guy, woo,
Right.
Anyone who saw him understand it, but in the future, I don't know how anyone is going to be able to make that argument.
And I understand Jordan was a rock star when those Bulls.
Oh,
were
absolutely.
Oversee, it's different nowadays. But LeBron, what he's doing, I don't think we really appreciate how great this guy has been. And to me, longevity is part of it. You have to include that. Being able to play 21 seasons at an insanely high level to avoid major catastrophic injury. I mean, it's truly tremendous what he's doing right now.
What's really interesting about Michael, and Stacey King said Michael never engaged in load management.
Yeah.
I read a book about Michael's last 2 years with the Wizards, and he was pretty good still.
Yeah.
And people around the Wizards said if he had managed the load, because his knees were starting to go, if he'd taken some days off, he might have been able to play a little longer.
Right.
But because he was on Michael Jordan, I'm playing every night, and his knees started giving out, and he broke down.
And that's the question, that should be raised. If you could have your star players for 18 years instead of 15, would you sacrifice some load management, take off some games here and there? We criticize these guys for load management, but yet we get to watch them longer than, past generations.
By the way, I remember Kareem when he was still Lou Alcindor.
Yeah.
He was dominant in a way that very few people have ever been either.
Where do you have Kareem at? Should he be in that
He's
conversation?
right up there, but it's so long ago, and there's not video or film that much. He's never going to win that argument, but to me, he should be up there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a big Kareem fan. I think Wilt should be up there also. Nobody talks about Wilt, and I maintain if you trade Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, if Wilt was on those Celtics teams, they'd win championships
they
too.
Might have won more.
Yeah, they might win, and so I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and how about LeBron getting to 40,000 on the anniversary of Wilt scoring?
Yeah, how about that?
That was pretty cool.
That? Yeah.
When we come back, did the Kings impress you in Minnesota? Turns out they did not impress the Minnesota Timberwolves, at least based on what the T-Wolves had to say. That and what really went down in that team meeting when we come back to the Golden One Center. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got good news. The American Energy Heat and Air $0 HVAC diagnostic has been extended to February 29th. That's right. It expired at the end of January, but want to give you all an opportunity who missed out to get in. It's a $99 value. All right, it's $100, and right now it's free. I don't know how much easier I can pitch that. Normally $100, now $0. Let the American Energy team test your system, your connections, and all the moving parts of that system to make sure it's functioning properly. And you know who's going to be coming to your home? A group of people that have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. A group of folks that have been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. $0 HVAC diagnostic. Normally a $100 value right now at American Energy Heat and Air. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call them to make your appointment. 916-520-9990.
Hey guys, do you know your T-level? Revive Men's Health here in Sacramento is helping you take that first step toward better health and enhanced intimacy with a free testosterone level test, exam, and consultation. Plus, for this month only, qualified patients can kickstart their treatment with a free supply of ED medication. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento at 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTK AM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Really didn't intend to wander back down this rabbit hole, but here we are.
Okay.
Stacey King was just with us. Stacey King, Bulls broadcaster. Kyle asked him about the MJ LeBron question since LeBron just reached 40,000 points for his career. And Stacey King says it's MJ. So now on the chat, you know, that we've got that debate going.
Yes.
Do you want to hear from Rob in Rancho? Says he has the counter to what we're saying.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Rob from Rancho. You're on the drive, guys. What's up, Rob?
How you doing, guys?
Good.
What's happening?
Dude, having a great day. Love listening to you guys. I've been on board with dang near everything you said all day until the LeBron Jordan thing. And I mean, you know, who really cares? Like, who's better, right? They're both one of the greatest that we've ever seen. I push that right there all the time. Like, I hate that side of the fence where either side, you know, Jordan fans, LeBron fans both do it. You know, like, it's slander to say one of those guys is number one. It's not. You know, saying that you're the number two best player of all time, that's just nothing but recognition. I mean, maybe like Kareem or Will, like we're talking about, My thing is, you look at its scoring. It's an undeniable achievement, and and I don't know that we're going to enough, at least in our lifetimes, to beat that record. But then you look at his turnovers; he's number one all time, just across the board. And then you look at if you were looking at his missed field goals in about 10 to 15 games, he's going to own that record too. The most missed field goals. He missed about 9-10 field goals a game. He's about 126 behind Kobe right now. So give him 10, 15 games, he'll miss the most field goals of all time too. So, I mean, there will be those people that'll push that, devil's advocate side of it. Well, Jordan's better because he didn't miss the most field goals. When he got to 30,000 points, he was only one of two guys to do that under 1,000 games, him and Wilt. That's it. Jordan, I mean, I think LeBron took about 2 more seasons to get the 30K points, He was the youngest, but he wasn't the fastest. I mean, and that's now we're just splitting hairs, I mean, I'm lucky enough to see I've seen all of them play, and I'll say that right again. I love the counter argument. No, maybe not the counter, just devil's advocate. I was like, I called originally to say I think we need to sign Monk next season. Maybe the reason we didn't do any of the off-season or the in-season trade stuff was maybe they're looking at signing him. And after this next year, if we extend him, that's 3 years. We'll own his bird rights. We could go into the luxury tax to sign Monk. Maybe Monty's sitting there talking to his agent saying, hey, we'll give you another $20 million guaranteed next year, and we'll give you a player option, but wink, wink, turn that option down and we'll up the ante, because we'll be able to dip in to the luxury tax to afford you, and we want you here. So I don't know if I don't know if you can tell him that, but thanks for the call, guys. Thanks for the call.
Appreciate it. Good to hear from you. The tricky thing with Malik is you're limited as to what you can offer him.
Right.
Rob's saying kind of winking a handshake, but
so sign him. Take a discount now with promising of a longer term, more lucrative.
Ask James
deal.
Harden how that goes.
Right. Exactly. I think it's going to be tough, man. It's like when I look at Malik, is there an Orlando? Is there a team out there who has the cap space that looks at that guy as, he's a starter for us, and we're going to pay him $25 million a year?
Could be.
And if you're Malik, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money to a 400 or something like that somebody can offer him. I think that would be tough to turn down, because you're not just talking, you're talking generational wealth. Like, you're talking,
oh, sure,
mama, we made it. We hit the payday. Like, we don't have to worry about anything ever again. And that'd be hard to turn down.
Yeah, like you say, it hinges on who those teams are.
Yes.
I know Chris Watkins has that list, and we can compile that, but that's the key to the whole thing. And again, I know if it gets dicey, I think a lot of Kings fans are going to shout and stamp their feet and say, why didn't the Kings offer more? And it's like, you can't, because of the terms that you signed them to. You're limited as to what you could offer them. But hopefully it won't come to that. Think about LeBron real quick. When you look at Hall of Fame candidates for players, some players have peak numbers, like they just, in a short period of time, they put up huge numbers. Other guys put up pretty good numbers for a long time. And LeBron has put up peak numbers for a long time. He's done both.
Yeah.
He's not a peak guy or a career guy. He's peaked for his whole career, because his whole career has been a peak.
Yeah. And I think, what's crazy, and I'm just Googling these numbers right here. LeBron James, this is a stat that nobody will ever achieve or touch, has scored double figures in more than 1,200 straight games. Think about that. You're 1,200 straight games LeBron James has scored in double figures. Hasn't left early because of injury, didn't have a 3 of, 20 night where he only scored 9 points. Think about that.
Yeah.
And the thing that separates me, LeBron, from Jordan's great. LeBron's assist. He can control the game and win a game, not just by scoring, but his assist as well. His passing. And you talk about making players better. LeBron has extended careers of a lot of guys in the NBA.
Do you still have LeBron's numbers up there?
Yeah.
What's his career field goal percentage, because Rob made an interesting point.
50.5,
Yeah,
which is higher than Jordan's.
Yeah, because Rob said, he's going to have the most misses. Well, of course he is, because he will have played he's played longer than anybody, and he takes the most shots. So,
right, but his efficiency is still better than Mike's. And so if Mike played that long, he would have, the misses as more misses than LeBron at this point.
Right. So I don't think that's going to be held against him. Should we hold this against Minnesota Timberwolves? After the Kings marched in there and beat them in overtime, Jaden McDaniel said, I really don't worry about them when they come here. I feel pretty confident we could beat them 4 times in a row if we had to play them. We just throw this one to the side. And your boy Rudy Gobert said, I think we match up with them pretty well. They're the only team that's gone in there and beat Minnesota twice
when they're home.
And they're saying, no big deal.
And I get it. You want to, portray that confidence. We're
they
not
know they
worried
might play
about
them again.
them. But I tell you what, Sacramento's not afraid.
Right.
Like the Kings aren't, worried that they can't beat Jaden McDaniels and the Timberwolves. And so that's some shade. You got your butts beat. You lost twice at home.
Isn't it also looking ahead to if they play them though down the road, so they can say, no, we were never.
But I tell you, what that shows me is you do have your eye on the Kings.
I agree.
If this was the Warriors or somebody that's not, but clearly you're thinking, this could be a potential matchup. So let me already get this out there. We're not worried about it.
Who's the smartest player on the Minnesota team?
Mike Conley.
Mike Conley said they have shooters everywhere. Playing big like we do, it's a rat race. Once they get the ball, they're throwing it out. They're trying to drive and kick, and you're asking our 7-footers to guard wings, and it puts a lot of pressure on us. And they have to be perfect to get stops and get back on defense. End quote. Mike Conley knows.
He's not saying what Jay McDaniel said.
Right.
And did you see, and to Conley's point, Minnesota went with 3 bigs at one point. They had Nas, Cat, and Rudy Gobert. How can you guard the Kings with 3 7-footers like that?
They couldn't.
Clearly they couldn't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're right.
When we come back to the Golden One Center, what Trey Lyles and Mike Brown and De'Aaron Fox had to say about that team meeting. Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sactown Sports.
Spins away from the defender in the paint. Soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no accounts to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
You know, Kyle Draper kind of gave us an indication that the Kings might have had some kind of special meeting when you told us last week you guys were late leaving Denver because, what'd you say, the film session lasted an hour and
a half film session. Yes. I didn't want to say anything or allude to anything, because I don't know if that's my place, but it definitely was strange. We're on the bus in Denver. And remember, that's why we were late. I was late to the show that day.
Exactly.
Because we were supposed to leave the hotel at 11. We didn't leave the hotel till 12. And that's highly unusual. Film sessions started at 10:30 Denver time. And I'm on the bus at 11 waiting. It was so long. I took a nap on the bus, woke up at 11:45, and they still weren't done. And so I'm like, oh, yeah, this is more than just your usual normal film session that they were having.
Yeah, the only way the film session lasts an hour and a half is if it's movie night, right?
Right.
Come on in, we're watching a movie.
Right, we're going to rewatch the whole game or something like that. Like film sessions at most a half hour.
what did you think of the fact that Trey Lyles is the one who called the meeting?
I love it. I love it. And some people are like, shouldn't it have been De'Aaron
That's
Fox?
what your boy Compio said.
Shouldn't the leader of the team? No, but here's the thing. When Trey Lyles speaks, that's when you know, something got to be fixed. Like, because Trey Lyles, he's a little vocal, but he's quiet, leads by example, jokes around a little bit. But if he's upset, if he's pissed off, that's when you know, all right, something needs to be done. And I'm happy he did it.
Yeah, here's Trey Lyles at practice yesterday telling the media why he called this team meeting.
I just think at this point in the season, we just needed to come together, and it's been an up and down year, I think, consistency-wise. So we just needed to challenge one another as a team, and as individuals to hold each other accountable and just talk about it as a group and voice our opinions on things, and everybody come together on the same page, and it's just going to help us out in the long run.
So it's interesting to me that clearly, for all the angst from the fan base, players were feeling it too.
Yeah.
They don't want to acknowledge that. We don't know what's wrong, so it's, we lost the game. No big deal. We got another one. But clearly, behind closed doors, they were feeling it too. And they were just wondering what's going on and what do we do about it?
Yeah. And, and I liken it at times to Mike Brown being a parent and having children. I don't know if you guys out there will get this analogy, but sometimes you look to your kids and you say, all right, do you have anything to say? And they're like, no, they're quiet. But then they go up to their rooms and they say, oh, man, dad was mean tonight, or mom was mean, or whatever like that. I feel like some things can be said with the coaches not around. Mike Brown, hey, anybody got to say anything? They're like scolded children, Nope. But the frustration level, and I'm glad this happened. And I think it was a great time to happen. Like, if this happened in December, then what do you do in January, February when things like this is the perfect time, I think, to sort of hit the reset, wake guys up, hold guys accountable. Your goals are still very much within reach, 23 games left to go. And so I applaud it. And I'm glad Trey Lyles did it. Somebody needed to do it, and I'm glad it was Trey.
Well, to your point, the daddy of the team, the coach of the team, Mike Brown, says he loved the fact that the players had a players-only meeting.
I freaking love it. I've been dismayed. I've been talking internally to our front office, to our coaches, even to our team. We won't reach the heights that we can reach until you guys take ownership. As a head coach, you could push and carry the group only so far. There's got to be a point in time to where it comes from within, and they talk to one another and they hold each other accountable and they take ownership in whatever the heck is going on in front of them. And so for them to have that for the first time, man, I actually went out and had a drink last night. It was partly because of that.
Oh, man. I think one of the best things about the fact that the Kings had a team meeting is that if you go back and replay in your mind some of the things that have been said, going back to last week against Miami, it was almost a very subtle form of finger pointing going on, almost bordering on that. And I think you had like De'Aaron Fox saying, well, they really took advantage of some one-on-one matchups. And you have Keegan saying, well, one thing we can control is our effort. We need to control that. So it's almost like guys came close to saying our other guys aren't doing what they need to do. It never got to that point, but I think it showed some people were starting to feel that way, the fact that they had this team meeting and cleared the air.
Well, and here's the thing.
And it's natural.
The players see everything we see. So if somebody gets beat on an assignment or a backdoor cut, the players see that. We see it in film sessions. I've sat there and we're sitting and everybody's watching it. And it's like nobody calls them out on it. And so this players meeting, I think, for me, is an encouraging sign because it shows me they care. This is something we've been waiting for, right? Whether it's a players-only meeting or guys calling each other out during the games, like, just show me some life, show me some passion, show me you care. And I think that's what this players meeting did. And, it came out, great win against Minnesota. Of course, you got to back it up tonight against Chicago. But I think this team, and give it up to Trey Lyles once again, because we've been talking about who's that emotional leader? Who's that guy that's going to galvanize the locker room, pull everybody together? It seemed like too many times with this Kings team, teams would go on a run where the Kings would lose and guys would be okay with it. Oh, well, it's just one of 82. The one of 82 thing is out the window right now.
Yep.
Like every game, this isn't one of 82. These are big
One
games.
of 23 or whatever 23. It is. Yeah.
Exactly. With Dallas breathing on your neck, Phoenix, Lakers, all these teams breathing. And so these games in March aren't the same as October games.
Mm-hmm.
Like these games now, they mean something.
Yes. I think everybody, whether you're a Kings fan or not, if you're an NBA fan, you would say, who's the leader of the Kings? De'Aaron Fox. Well, here's De'Aaron Fox, his thoughts on the team meeting before the Minnesota game.
Oh, it's great. I mean, I think if you've ever been a player of any kind of sport, you've been around some guys who, I guess, don't talk openly when there are coaches around. Like, when you were a kid, when you were in high school, when you were in college, you've had guys that, you know, kind of don't want to say anything when coaches are around. And I think that's what's good about players meeting, because nothing has to leave the meeting. Obviously, whenever we're back with coaches, whatever our main point is, we let them know what it is. And at the end of the day, when you're a team, your organization, you have to have, you know, a middle ground. Obviously, there are some things that you want to do that coaches don't want to do, or coaches want to do that you don't want to do, and you have to find that middle ground. And then, you know, everybody talks to each other, communicates. We go out there and we make it work.
That's really interesting.
There
you
it
can
is.
take that a number of different ways. Guys that don't want to talk around the coaches. Wow.
Yeah.
This team is an interesting team when it comes to the leadership and who the most vocal leaders are.
Right. And, you know, it's back to the analogy with, you know, a parent and the children. Usually these meetings, the film sessions, that's when they all get together. You just spent 15, 20 minutes to half an hour being shown what you're doing wrong, you know? And so your head's hanging a little low. You're down on yourself a little bit. And so when coach says, hey, anybody got anything to say? You're licking your wounds a little bit. So you're not in the right frame of mind to fire back or say anything. And so then, like I said, brother and sister go upstairs to the room. Then they start talking and like, oh, come on, you got to do better. Or, God, we need to clean our room more, you know. And I think that's what happened with this Kings team, man. And Mike Brown said it. You got to start holding each other accountable. Like, I mean, especially in team sports, Whitey, the coach isn't out there playing. You know, he can't go out there and you know, make the defensive stops and, you know, make the right reads and everything like that. That's why when you look at football, the quarterback is so important, because he's more than just the guy that throws the ball.
Talking about Brock Purdy.
Yeah, your boy, hey, Brock did a fantastic job. That's last year's news. I'm not going to get into it with you with Brock Purdy. But as the quarterback, you're the leader of the team. And if a receiver runs the wrong route, what are you going to just, oh, well, no. Quarterbacks, Tom Brady was notorious for yelling at guys, or, you know, if guys weren't in position, calling a timeout, slamming his helmet and being upset. And so that's what we want to see from our guys. Show us that you care. And I thought this team meeting did that.
Yeah, when it's just the players, you know, they're talking about, look, how can our team succeed? When you have coaches involved, that's the boss, and my career comes into play. You know, my future with the team, finances come into play. And if I say something bad about this guy, then, you know, I'm throwing him under the bus. But if it's like just the team, guys, we need to win. What do we need to do to win more games? Kevin Herter said, quote, I think a large part of it is just getting on the same page. It was a time for us players to talk about and take ownership of what we're doing, talk about things that we think are successful for us and have been happening on the court, and things that aren't. Davion said, we can't just put our heads down when we're not scoring the ball. We can't just lay down when teams go on runs.
Exactly. And so
how many times have we said that?
Right. We've been saying that all year,
Yeah.
right? Like, where's that fight? Where's that passion? And I think, like we've talked about, you need a player that sort of calls, you know, out another player, is that emotional leader. And so we saw it a little bit with Domas about a month ago when him and Trey Lyles got into it a little bit on the court. We've seen it with Malik and Mike Brown getting, I think those things are good for a team. You know, that brings about growth. That brings about trust. It's just like in a marriage also. Like if everything's hunky-dory and no fighting or anything, when you are tested, you won't know how to react. And so, I'm excited for tonight and see how the guys bring it.
Yeah.
You fired up now. Let's go. Dance team is out here warming up.
I want an easy win tonight. And I know you're going to respect the opponent. I respect the opponent. I do. But come on. It's right there in front of you now. The apple's right there. You're almost close enough where you can pluck it. Follow up on the promise that, looked like you're starting to fulfill against Minnesota. Take care of business tonight. When we come back, who's best in the West? And is the West really great, or is it just really very balanced? That's next year. We look ahead to the rest of this Kings season with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Welcome to the March Mania sales event at Kia of Vacaville, Northern California's premier destination for automotive excellence. Get ready for an exhilarating showcase of our 2024 vehicle lineup, where innovation meets the road and customer satisfaction reigns supreme. Step into the future with the all-new Kia Sportage, where cutting-edge design harmonizes with dynamic performance. Explore the outstanding fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel that redefines eco-friendly driving. Experience the unparalleled luxury and versatility of the Kia Telluride, setting new standards for sophistication and practicality. Don't miss out on our impressive selection of eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, tailored for drivers who demand efficiency without compromising on style. And for those seeking the EV9, Kia of Vacaville has it ready for delivery or in stock. Visit us today during March Mania and discover why Kia of Vacaville is the ultimate destination for automotive excellence. Model availability and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more information.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our clients' portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave from my friends at Fire Wings talking about Wings Day Wednesday. That's right, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. 3-flavor lineup includes 7 classic, 7 dry rub, and 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. A great place to watch and enjoy sports with friends. 21 delicious flavors to choose from. Save time. Order online for pickup or delivery. Just go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you. Order online. Earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
Visit new and exciting places across the U.S. On Amtrak, it isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey. Without any busy airports or cramped car rides, with no middle seats, extra legroom, and first-class private rooms. New adventures are just an Amtrak away. Book now at Amtrak.com.
1 ticket, 2 shows, the Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Exposition, plus the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. Hundreds of wakeboard boats, travel trailers, pontoon boats, fifth wheel, personal watercraft and ATVs, toy haulers, fishing boats, motorhomes, and more. One massive event. The Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Exposition, plus the Big RV Show. March 7th through 10th. Find discounts at 2hugeshows.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kip Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kip Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Your flagship station for the Bean Team, Sactown Sports.
The Western Conference standings, at least for now, tell a happy tale for the Kings and Kings fans. OKC beat Phoenix last night. OKC number 1 in the West. Minnesota, after losing to the Kings, Minnesota lost to the Clippers by 1, so they're second now. Denver's third, Clippers fourth. Pelicans are fifth, 36-25. Kings sixth, 34-25. So those are the teams out of the play-in. Then you got Phoenix with 26 losses, Dallas with 27 losses, the Warriors 28 losses, and the Lakers with 29 losses. Dallas lost to Philly yesterday. Warriors got disemboweled by the Celtics. How about that Suns loss last night to the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Hey, OKC looking legit, aren't they?
Yes.
They look like a team to be reckoned with. I understand in the standings, their best team out there. So, of course, but they're still young, but it doesn't matter. Like Chet Holmgren was fantastic. SGA and Jalen Williams, he's turned into a bona fide number 2 out there. And so the West is a dogfight, man.
Mm-hmm. As for Phoenix, right now, right behind the Kings, I heard this on Styles and Watkins today. Devin Booker turned his ankle, so he's out 7 to 10 days. Have you seen their last 10 games, Phoenix?
Like
the last 10 games of the year?
Played?
No, the last 10 of the year.
No,
Let me
I
just
have
run it
not
down.
looked.
This is, I heard this today. I heard Alan run this down. I was like, what? Phoenix Suns, last 10 games. At Denver, at Oklahoma City, at New Orleans, home to Cleveland, home to Minnesota, home to New Orleans, home to the Clippers, at the Clippers, at the Kings, at Minnesota.
Unbelievable.
They're done.
Is a gauntlet.
They're done.
And the thing is, Whitey, none of those teams are going to be chilling because everything is so tight that those games are going to matter for seeding.
Wow.
It's not like, Clippers are going to be resting guys. Like, they want to get home court advantage in the first round.
Right.
And so, all those games, Phoenix by far, and I'm looking at the strength of schedule, by far, they have the toughest schedule remaining. Get this, Whitey. You mentioned the last 10 games.
Yeah.
Guess who else they play? The Celtics twice. They play the Celtics twice. They got 2 against Denver, 2 against Minnesota, 2 against the Clippers. They are done. Like a brisket that's been in the smoker all day. They are done. Pull them off, wrap them, serve them up.
Now, are they at least they're going to be in the play-in? They'll at least be in the play-in, right?
Yeah. They'll be in the play-in.
But Beal's been hurt.
But man,
and KD, I guess last night he's saying, "Man, I can't. If they send 2 guys at me, there's nothing I can
do." And and remember a week ago we were talking about strength of schedule, and the Kings were like 8th and 5th at one point. The Kings have the 13th most difficult schedule now. So it's getting easier a little bit.
Yeah.
But here
they're at home. They're
at home.
Yeah.
Phoenix has a more difficult schedule. The Lakers have a more difficult schedule. The Clippers have a more difficult schedule. Even New Orleans has a more difficult. So those are teams you're sort of battling for position with. And so, as you always say, take care of home court.
Mm-hmm.
Kings take care of home court. We ain't worried about the player. We talking top 6.
I know. It's incredible that here we are. Now, when you look at the West, do you think the West, we've all said this, I've said it, I'll speak for myself, the West is so tough. Are there great teams in the West, or is it just really even? I don't know. Denver won a championship. If they win a championship again, we have to think, well, maybe that's a great team, back-to-back championships. But all these teams, the later we get, the more their flaws are revealed. It's very evenly matched, but I don't know that there's any great teams in the West.
Whitey.
Denver could be.
Is this what you're going to do right now?
OKC is up and coming.
How about this? Are we talking great as in historically great, or are we talking great as in they can win a championship this year? Because there's a difference. I don't think there's any historically great.
I agree.
The next dynasty's not upon us or anything like that.
Well, someone's got to win the championship. That doesn't mean you have to be great to win a championship.
I think Denver can still win it.
I do too.
I do think the Clippers can. When healthy and right, I think the Clippers can. After that,
that's what I'm saying. And there's good teams in there. I'm not saying, oh, these teams stink.
Right.
They're good teams, but it's a lot more evenly balanced here as we head down the stretch and teams start clubbing each other over their heads.
Yeah, but and I heard Jason Ross talking about this earlier, and I want to get your take on this. And people out there, 916-339-1140. When you look at the Western Conference, last year, I believe at this point, there were 3 teams with overall 45 or more wins.
Mm-hmm.
This year in the West, you're going to have 6, 7, 8. And so my point is, and Jason raised this point, Sacramento has the same record as they did a year ago, basically. But the West is stronger. There are more good teams. So I could argue that the Kings are actually better this year than they were last year. I know it doesn't feel like that, but they are a better team. The fact that they are at the same record against a more difficult opponent in a difficult conference where there aren't any nights off, you could argue this Kings team is actually better this year than last year. You see what I mean by that?
Yes, I wouldn't argue that right now because to me, it doesn't matter. Like if this year's Kings played last year's, who would win? Doesn't matter. All that matters in terms of how good you are is how good you are relative to other teams. I do think the Kings, again, you know me, it's like, I've lost faith in them. I'm all the way in. I'm all the way in after the Minnesota game because I think this is the key to me. They established a style in Minnesota. I think they may have finally found an identity. Last year, there's no question. They knew how they were going to do it, and quite often they did it. This year, they've been struggling to find that. That's what I think was so big about Minnesota. You had Davion saying, we just got to play harder. And Mike Brown said, there was 20, 50 balls. We got 11 of them or whatever it was, something like that. That's how this team has to play. And it seems like they're finally the lights going on. Last year's like, we're going to shoot, run the ball. We're going to score. And this year it's like, okay, that's great. We can keep doing that, but we have to be a scrappier team. Maybe the light has finally gone on.
Yeah. And it's not.
For this team to be as good as last year, they have to have a clear identity. That's what I'm saying. And I think maybe
no matter what it is, no matter
as long as it works for them.
As long as it works.
Yeah.
And so it looks like, because we've been talking about they should be offense, but they might not be able to achieve that like they did last year. So to your point, being a scrappy team might be the way to go.
Yeah.
Like I want this team, no matter who they face, opponents know they're in for a tough night.
Yes.
Right now, I don't think opponents fear the Kings.
Not at all.
Like, if I'm a player, I'm excited to face Sacramento because they put up little to no resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that could change. I thought they did a great job Friday against Minnesota. To your point, to me, that should be the identity. And I'm sure that's what Mike Brown wants. Like, no matter what, if you beat us, you're going to have to go out there and earn it.
Right.
We're not going to just lay down and give it.
Yeah. They should never be saying, the other team played harder than us. I know you're human and it happens. But this, I agree with you. I think that's key. Sam Amick mentioned that last week on with Carmichael the Jason Ross show with Dave Wegland. He said, no one's scared. The Kings aren't scaring anybody right now. And they have to be a team that at least teams are knowing that we go in there, they push you and, it's no fun playing against them.
Right. And they won't give up. They won't lay over and play dead.
Yeah.
If, we go on a 10-0 run and get up by 15, that doesn't mean the game's over.
Scrappy teams are annoying.
Right.
That's what the Kings
Are we
have to do.
annoying guys, though? We don't have annoying guys. That's the
No.
problem. You want us? I hear you. I want you. You want a team full of Dylan Brooks. I know that's what you want. You're like, you're gonna have to earn
Not
everything.
the guy would, yeah.
You're gonna come out with some battle scars if you play a team full of Dylan Brooks. But no, I understand what you mean. It's not about fighting or being dirty or anything like that. It's just competing hard.
Right.
you know?
Yeah. How about this? This was very interesting to me. Chris Finch said after the Kings beat his team on Friday, quote, and I think he's a great coach.
Yes.
He said, they have an identity. They play to it every single night. We know what works and what doesn't work against them. I thought, have you been watching this team? But when they play Minnesota, they seem to have a clear idea how to beat Minnesota.
No, you're right. I mean, we saw it the first trip to Minnesota as well. And so, Chris Finch, when he sees the Kings play his team, he's like, man, especially without De'Aaron Fox the other night, Malik Monk knocking down threes, Kevin Huerter, I thought made some big plays, facilitating as well. And so, no, I mean, it's one of those things where if you only watch 3 games all season, you would think the Kings, are scrappy, hustling, hard-nosed, and those 3 games would be Minnesota. But it's still there. It's still time to lock into an identity. And I think it starts tonight. Like, okay, that was fine. But we saw it last week when they beat the Clippers and then came home and got rolled by Miami.
Right.
Like, you got to build some consistency if you want to build an identity.
Your guy, Ryan Williams-Art, says, Drapes, that is a valid argument. I agree. It's even more impressive this year considering the bench is thinner. Arthur Smith says the identity message now is they can go a 7-game series and win as they prepared for the playoffs last year, and now they know 7 games. Yeah, I just think this team has been struggling at times this year to figure out who are we exactly. We thought we were the team that we were last year, but we're not. So what are we? And I think that was one of the issues. I don't know if they specifically sat down and said, hey, guys, who are we? But I think that's one of the things they addressed and hopefully figured out when they had a team meeting.
Yeah, and not even who are we? Who do we want to be?
How do we win?
Yeah, how do we win? Like, what's it going to take night in and night out? And I think this is a massive game because, you had the team meeting Thursday. Naturally, you're going to get a little bit of a bump. All right, guys, do it 1 game. But can you do it again? Like, is this going to be your identity like we're talking about? And so if you come out and get rolled tonight, the team meeting, like, it's just like, what happened to that?
Mm-hmm.
And so it would be frustrating. To your point, like you said earlier, you got to win tonight, right? You got to win.
So what do you think? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hit us up in the YouTube chat. Are the Kings better than they were last year? Drapes, you think they are, right?
I think they are.
I'm not buying that yet. I'm not buying it. What do you think? Also, we'll take a look once again because Drapes wants to take a look at what happened to his beloved Warriors yesterday as we continue a survey.
JB for 3. That's how they say it in Boston.
Of the West. With the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Sacramento County Voter Registration and Elections.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay mostly cloudy through the night tonight. Overnight lows will drop down into the mid-40s. Tomorrow will be in and out of clouds through the day. We may see a brief shower. Look for highs to reach the low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
The next election is March 5th. Vote centers open February 24th. Remember to vote early and avoid the lines. Learn more at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 762-8019.
It's Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you want a deal that's a slam dunk, go see the winning team at Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is your truck headquarters with all your American-made favorites, like America's best-selling F-Series, F-150s, and Super Duties. or spacious new Explorers and Expeditions. Plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports, all in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford, right here in Sacramento. You can buy any new Ford with zero down on approved credit, save big with low interest finance rates, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Check out the huge selection of inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership to see their most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. They'll help you out. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 35 years and counting.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
In 1923, the Field and Flint Company launched what they believed to be the best shoe on the market, using the brand FootJoy for the first time. Their tagline, a shoe that's different. And 100 years later, that tagline could well describe the launch of the latest iteration of the FootJoy Pro SLX Carbon Golf Shoe. Pro SLX offers performance innovation engineered from the ground for advanced traction, control, and comfort. The all-new Power Track system delivers stability and no-slip grip when you swing. A carbon fiber X-Wing distributes the energy to the shoe's perimeter for increased traction and control. And Stratofoam provides all-day comfort. In the end, it's about tradition, it's about performance, and it's about comfort. 100 years ago, this FootJoy Pro SLX Carbon would have seemed a shoe for a spaceman. Today, it's a great shoe for 18 holes right here on Earth. Try a pair at your local pro shop or learn more at footjoy.com. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Welcome to the President's Day sale, happening now at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Celebrate with us and get huge savings on our giant selection. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
All right, things getting a little out of hand here on the YouTube chat. Appreciate it, but
out of hand.
Compio and Megadeth are talking about the thumbs up police. They're saying, hey, if you're watching, you got to hit the thumbs up. Let's go, brah, step up. And then some people saying, usually I'm in the car. I'm listening to the car.
Oh, all right.
I can't really. It's appreciated, but it's okay. But I appreciate somebody.
Can we see who hit thumbs up or not? Is there a way? I don't know if there is.
I don't know that there is. We can see how many, but I don't know if we can see
right.
who. Why are you going to say if you don't hit the thumbs up, we're going to banish people?
No, I might hook somebody up with some tickets one game, like do a giveaway that way, or some exclusively to the YouTube chat or something like that.
That's very nice.
I'm a man of the people, bro. I'm a man of the people.
Well, I know sometimes you say that, and then you have, people text in about, and you don't care for what they say, and you're not necessarily a man of those people.
Right. Those people, the Ryan Williams Arts of the world, and the Compios that sometimes gives me mess. No, but these are my people, man.
So you're a man of some people, I would say.
Some people, exactly. Exactly. Not everybody's my guy. A lot of people is, Ryan Drapes, I hit the thumbs up. You like it
now?
Now?
Everybody's
cool.
like,
I know.
Oh, I hit it.
No, seriously, I would like to do, because let's be honest. People got a lot of things to do in this world. a lot of media out there.
Yes.
And the fact that, our loyal YouTube watchers and listeners every day, I may give them crap like Folsom Mike. I don't know if you saw what Folsom Mike said in the chat. Remember earlier, he was poo-pooing the win against Minnesota?
Right.
Well, he came back in there and he said, Jordan is the best scorer ever, best competitor ever. But his greatness and why he will always be the GOAT is because he's transcended the sport like no one in any of their sports. You got to acknowledge LeBron might be the best all-around basketball player. Doing what he's doing at his age is proof enough. Folsom Mike, and in quotations again. So yell at me some more. So yeah, it's a love-hate relationship I got with the listener. And I love them. Sometimes I hate them too, though. But sometimes I hate their taste.
I hate you.
But no, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. Best thing about Folsom Mike is he says, "Hey, it's Folsom Mike." So appreciate that.
How about Sean in Placerville, though, also weighing in on the YouTube chat? 19 seasons for 4 and 15 for 6. Jordan all the way.
Okay, that's actually the text line, right?
Yeah, the text line there. That's text right there. Yep.
Yeah. So what's your community of the evening going to be? So
I'm pre and post tonight. I'm not calling the game. So I get to rest a little bit,
Uh-huh.
It might be Folsom, though, next game. Those are my people out there. So.
Can you explain this to me?
Yeah.
Maybe there's something here I'm missing. To me, this is terrible. Travis Kelce and his brother Jason.
Yep.
They're gonna have bobbleheads that are gonna be given away tomorrow night by the Cleveland Cavaliers when they host the Celtics. Now they're Cleveland guys, but they're on the freaking Kansas City Chiefs. Why are they giving away bobbleheads for a couple of Chiefs players in Cleveland? On the bobbleheads, they're wearing Cavs jerseys, but these are Kansas City Chiefs. This is disrespectful to anyone from Cleveland. It's disrespectful to the Browns to be giving away bobbleheads for the Kansas City Chiefs, isn't it?
So the
Cleveland Cavaliers
will give out Travis and Jason Kelce bobblehead.
Correct. Tomorrow. And the bobbleheads are going to be wearing Cavs jerseys because they're from Cleveland, which I get. But come on, they're Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, man.
And one of them is supposed to be at the game, and they don't say which one. So they're telling everybody, well, it could be. It could bring.
Tay could be there too, Hey, man, I'm not going to hate on it. I would like to score one because my boy Jason Kelce announced he's retiring too.
Right.
So, it's a big time.
Hello, Chuck.
In this.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You here early. What's up, baby? You here nice and early. Chuck Swirsky in the building.
Yeah.
Author extraordinaire. We got to get into his book as well. He got a great book that's out right now. But why are you hating on that?
I just think it's disrespectful to fans of the Cleveland Browns. That's all.
Browns
I understand they're
the last time
Cleveland.
the Browns won anything.
Well, that's kind of the point.
I hear you. It's but they're hometown heroes, that supersedes it. It's like growing up in the neighborhood when young Johnny is from the hood, but then he goes out and stars for the Seattle Mariners, let's say. You want to see him do good. He comes back. Hey, it's Johnny Day in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You celebrate. That's all it is.
I think you're right. I'm just not seeing it, and I wouldn't like it if I was a Browns fan. But I guess you're right. Hey, hometown guys, and they've supported their local teams even though they don't play for one.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you see who was it? Travis, I believe, when Max Strus made that 50-footer last week. He chimed in on Twitter, so he's a Cavs fan. Like, those are Cavs fans, even though they play football for other teams.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because it's like,
there's
okay,
no
what am I
loyalty
missing?
between teams.
What am I missing
franchises.
here? What am I missing? That's like when Steph Curry years ago, the 49ers were playing the Panthers, and Steph Curry's wearing he rang the bell or whatever they do to start Panthers games.
Did he really?
Yes. Yes. That was right before they'd won their first championship. It's like, really, Steph?
Yeah, or LeBron wearing a Dodgers hat or something like that, or Yankees or whatever he supports. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Speaking of Steph, I know we talked about this earlier, but hey, what happened to your Dubs yesterday?
My Dubs, they got smoked. It was amazing. It was my son who was following along on his phone. He's like, Dad, I think Jaylen Brown's left hand has been better than the entire Warriors team today. Because that's a knock on JB.
Yeah.
He can't shoot with his left hand. And
JB
was dominating. I know.
Yeah.
He could be our little child correspondent, connect with the younger listeners or something like that.
Yes.
But
yes.
no, man, that was I liked it because Warriors fans started to chirp a little bit. Bonte Hill started to put his chest out a little bit. We're back. You know, we're a threat. Nobody wants to see us in a series. And then leave it to the Celtics to remind them, whoopsie, that there's levels to this. And so they a bit of humble pie yesterday.
Yes, a lot of Warriors. You know that you probably know this. You worked in Boston. Celtics are the first team to win 3 times in one season by 50 or more.
I saw that. 50 or more. Like, they are a juggernaut. They beat the Pacers by 50, the Nets by 50 plus, and the Warriors as well. And think about it, though. A Steph Curry team got beat by 50 plus points.
Did you see what Steph said?
What did he say?
He said, that's what we used to do to teams.
Ooh. It's true.
Yeah.
It is true. And
it was like 70-32 or something. When I was telling Sheena, my wife, I said, you don't see this in NBA.
Don't.
It's like a college game or something.
Right. And not an all-time great getting handled like that. And I think, you know, the Warriors got some issues. First of all, the defensive game plan on Jaylen Brown. We touched on it earlier, daring him to shoot, and he knocked down 5 threes.
It's not working. All right, do it some more.
Yeah, keep going. I don't know. And somebody said this before the game. They were talking about how it's the last game of a road trip. Steph's not 100%. You should probably just rest him because it's probably going to be a loss anyway. And in hindsight, if I'm Steve Kerr, I'm thinking, damn, I wish I would have rested my guys. To get embarrassed like that with Steph out there, Draymond, Clay, I mean, that's a bad look.
They sat him in the third quarter, right?
Yeah.
They sat everybody down.
Yes.
And Joe Mazzulla went with his starters because he wanted to have them. He didn't want them to – he wanted them to capitalize on the big lead and not relax. And he wanted to see them come out and play well, even though they had the big lead, and they did.
You ever listen to Joe Mazzulla's post-game press conference?
I haven't.
He is a weird dude. I urge anyone out there, look up Joe Mazzulla. Like, he challenges the media. He doesn't do coach speak. You know, it's weird. I can't even explain it, but I text my guy Gary Washburn, who's of the Boston Globe. We got to have him on when the Kings go out to Boston in April. And him and Joe Mazzulla get into it a lot. There was one point where in a post game, Joe Mazzulla brought up an article Gary had wrote from 2017. He's like, yeah, Gary, are you going to ask me about 3-point shooting? You've been talking about that for 7 years now. Like, it's just weird. Just go look it up, please. I urge
kind of confrontational, huh?
Yeah, he is very confrontational, smartest guy in the room kind of thing. And it's working in terms of they're winning. But, it's pretty interesting.
Well, he was under fire there for a while, right? So I don't blame him for being little
and a lot of people
edgy.
wanted him gone after this past year. But what they did is they brought in some veteran assistants. Sam Cassell is now on the bench. I forget the guy from Milwaukee that they got who's on the bench now. And so they sort of, surrounded him with some veteran coaches out there.
Mm-hmm. Nobody leads his team like the king of the Kings does. Malik Monk will relive what he did on Friday. Also got a De'Aaron Fox health update. When we come back to the Gold One Center, the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He stopped the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text JUDGE to 42424
store right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 42424. That's JUDGE to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. You know, I'm loving my new EQS SUV. It's the most amazing car I've ever had. In fact, when I'm on the road with the Kings, I can't wait to come back just to hop in that EQS SUV. It's lovely. Now, if you've been on the fence about purchasing your first fully electric vehicle, I'll just say this. Schedule a test drive and see for yourself what makes these vehicles so incredible. Right now, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is offering up to $10,000 in incentives on new 2023 and 2024 Mercedes-Benz electric vehicles. You'll also receive a wall box home charger and 2 years of prepaid vehicle maintenance if you purchase or lease any Mercedes-Benz electric model. So head on over to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, just 30 minutes from Sacramento, right off I-5, online at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
To thank you for 40 unforgettable years, Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Get huge savings on our best selection of new Hondas during our Honda President's Day sales event at Folsom Lake Honda.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Plus, get an instant cash offer for your trade. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Great to have the Kings back home. Great to have Kyle Draper with us. Although I guess you're skipping out on us tomorrow, right? Because you're going.
Yeah. We got a flight to LA, and we're leaving right at 2:00. That's the. I could check in on the back end of the show.
Yeah, well, it's up to you. Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hang out with Whitey and Jay,
or you could
kick it in L.A.
You could do the show and then head down to L.A. in your Mercedes Benz.
Need to be checking for that wallet. Get back to that beach.
I know. You're right, dude. What if I went back and it's like on a pole somewhere, just sitting there still? Oh my gosh! And here's the thing, though: when you lose your wallet, it's not just about your credit cards. My medical card, my Costco card. I'm like, I go to Costco yesterday. My boy Sin is over there working. I'm like, Sin, I ain't got my card.
How you going to pick up your Kirklands?
I tell you what, Costco has the best pizza. I don't know if you tried Costco pizza.
I haven't in a while.
Yeah, the Costco pizza is the bomb. But I got the Costco app now, so he showed me, hey, here you go.
Great.
So, but no, you lose that.
I guess he's looking for a Costco endorsement.
Dude, I'm looking for every endorsement. I'm trying to get my Carmichael Dave on. That guy right there. It's like he's selling wings, he's selling cars, he's selling HVAC systems. I'm like, come on, Dave, you don't need all that.
Yeah. Well, the Kings do need at some point De'Aaron Fox back. Will they get him tonight? Here's De'Aaron Fox speaking after practice yesterday on how he's coming along.
I feel better. I was able to go through practice today, so optimistic about tomorrow for sure.
With the knee, has it been pain tolerance? Are they worried swelling at all?
It was swollen a bit, but it's like if I was standing for a period of time, and then it would be hard to sit down. If I was sitting down for a period of time, then when I stood up, it was like sore. So, it was pain tolerance, but also be smart. If I can't go out there and help my team, then I wouldn't play.
By the way, and very few people that comment here actually get to Drapes, but Ryan Williams did here.
Come on, man.
On the YouTube. In fact, as we were listening to De'Aaron Fox, Drapes pointed and said, look at that on the YouTube chat. Drapes got to replace that AARP membership card too.
They send that when you're 50 now, and I'm getting close. Your boy, I got a birthday coming up in about 6 weeks. 5 weeks, as a matter of fact. I'm definitely taking off for my birthday. It just hit me. I'm definitely calling in sick that day. But no, they send you that when you're 50, man. So.
Well, how about De'Aaron Fox? What's the latest? That was yesterday.
And
today, he went through shoot around, right?
Shoot around. All signs are pointing to him playing, right?
Yeah.
Practice yesterday, full participant. Shoot around, full participant. Listed as questionable. And if you look at last week, the 2 games last week, he was questionable in those games. Went through his, workout pregame routine and then decided not to play. You would think after a few days, it's just a knee contusion.
Yeah. Bad bruise.
Yeah, it's bad, but you would think.
It's not like he bumped into the nightstand or anything.
Throw some icy hot up on there and get out there and play. You know what I mean? So this is a big game. And you get 2 days off after this too, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
So go out there. I'll be honest, though. And my boy Chuck Swirsky is down there right now. This is no disrespect, Chuck. He probably can't hear me. But even without De'Aaron Fox, this Kings team should handle the Bulls tonight.
Ooh.
I love Chuck.
Do we know if Caruso's playing tonight?
I know.
Poor Chuck's doing his pregame. He's got a little snack going there, and there's Kyle Draper coming out.
Man,
I'm just a broadcaster.
That's the mindset you got to have if you're Sacramento. I don't care who takes the floor tonight. You got to get this win, right?
Well, yeah, sure. That's what the attitude they have to have.
Right.
Not playing. You don't have to bring it up here against poor Chuck.
Yeah,
Swirsky.
we'll have Chuck on at 4:45. We'll take this to the airwaves.
We were supposed to. I wouldn't blame him now if he said, you know what?
Right, I'm done.
I don't want any part of it.
Chuck is. Oh, you're not.
Chuck says, bet you a coffee.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
The outcome of the
game. No, we're not allowed to bet, Chuck. You know that. We're not allowed to bet on games, NBA games. So I can't take that. But but seriously, we've seen this team rise to the occasion. just because of De'Aaron Fox is out, and I thought they were going to lose the other day to Minnesota. I'm like, man, no De'Aaron Fox, Minnesota. Like, that's how it should be. When somebody's down, that's what teams do to us. You know what I mean, Whitey?
Yeah, yes,
when a
I
player's
do.
down,
Yes.
somebody else steps up. And this Kings team should be that way.
Can't let that happen to you tonight. Now, Malik Monk,
yes.
As we look at this team when we try to figure out who's the leader, well, De'Aaron Fox is, most people would say he's the best player. So in that sense, he's a leader.
Right.
Domantas Sabonis leads in terms of playing hard every night. He gets after his teammates sometimes a little bit. Doesn't really seem like his character, but he's not averse to doing that. So he's a leader. Harrison Barnes provides some leadership. But to me, nobody leads this team quite the way Malik Monk does when he's playing like he did Friday night.
You're right, because the one thing that you see from Malik, and I 100% agree with you, it's not even the baskets, it's not even the defense, the passing, it's just how he moves around the court. When he's got it going on,
he's got a swagger.
It's just like he's skipping around the court. You know, it's his playground, and everybody else just got to sit back and watch. And you're right. Even when De'Aaron is at his best, Domas is dominating, Keegan, it doesn't seem to be the same level of, let's say, joy, swagger, like you said, and a disdain for the opponent too. That's what you like. He has a scowl on his face or a smile if he's really kicking your butt. And so I think he really enjoys, you know, like we saw the other night. And so you're right about that.
Yeah, we know that Davion said about the team meeting. He said, we can't put our heads down when we're not scoring the ball. Malik, and we know he's human and he's had some off nights. Malik is not one to pout on the court, right?
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't get discouraged. Right. And that's a great form of leadership, especially for this team that has had kind of a split personality at times this year.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing about Malik, I feel like he comes on the floor with a chip on his
shoulder. He is the Costco pizza of 6 men.
Oh, man, don't get me started on. I love Costco pizza. It just takes too long to make, though. Oh, my God, it's so packed in Costco yesterday when I went. But, dog, I feel like Malik walks onto the floor with a chip on his shoulder, like I'm ready to compete. You know, now there have been some games where it hasn't been successful.
Right.
He sort of blended in.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that guy comes in ready to play. And I think it comes from his upbringing in Lepanto, Arkansas. Let me tell you this story about Malik Monk really quickly here. Malik Monk grew up in a tiny town called Lepanto, Arkansas. His brother Marcus was a stud football player at Arkansas or Alabama, so something like one of those. Was a 6th-round NFL draft pick. Decided to go overseas and play basketball in Germany.
Wow.
Won 2 championships as a basketball player in Germany. As Malik was getting older, his brother decided to move back to Arkansas. His brother was 26, 27 years old. Said, you know what? I'm coming back to take care of my little brother. And so he moved back, gave up his professional career, came back to Arkansas to help raise Malik. And I think that's where he developed that chip on his shoulder. And, you know, I talked to Malik about it. He's his agent now, he says. His brother is his agent. But, you know, life wasn't sweet growing up in Arkansas. You know, he's always had to play with that edge. And I think he gets it from his environment and from his brother as well. And you see, he's business when he steps out on the floor. It's not all, you know, lollygagging. We're friends. You know, I'm not looking to dap you up or shake hands or kiss. He's out there trying to beat you. And I think we talk about leaders. I think other players can sort of take some of that into their game.
That's a great story. Now, his brother was a basketball player, you said?
Yeah, started out as a football player, drafted in the NFL, but went overseas to play basketball.
Do you think he could spend some time with Malik shooting free throws? Is that,
you being like Folsom Mike over here, all negative and everything. I told you, we're not going to do the negative slander tonight, Whitey.
Did you hear Malik said when he was on postgame with Deuce and Mo?
No, I don't listen to Deuce. No, I did hear.
Yeah, and we can't even say what he said.
No, he said, I'd ask, because Deuce asked him about it.
Yeah, could you just make some free throws so we don't have a heart attack? I've been saying the same bleep. I've been saying this.
Yeah. He understands. And
that's the best thing about Malik is he tells you what he's thinking. He's very honest.
Let me ask you this, though, because we talked about it. Does it even matter nowadays as long as they win the game? Like the free throw shooting was atrocious.
Here's why
Minnesota, but they won the game.
Yeah, which is great, but it's trending in a bad direction where I could see them getting to a point where they're in a play-in, or maybe they're not in the big playoff game, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, the Kings are 16 for 30 tonight. It's like,
back to bite them.
Yeah.
At some point, you're saying when it matters the most.
Right.
I hear you.
Right. When we come back, is the 6th spot, maybe even the 5 spot. Can we even ask this question?
Yes.
Is it there for the Kings
Yes.
tanking? Next, from the Gold One Center, Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Turns out Chuck was just kidding about it. Can you believe that?
Bet?
Yeah, he says there's no bet. He said, I'm just kidding. I can't.
I know.
He's
That's not a betting man. He's not. We can't even bet in the NBA anymore. You can't. What
I
I'm saying,
understand.
Chuck's not a betting man.
I
Come on.
understand that. I get it. I just figured, hey, we're going to win some Costco pizza today.
They're only like $9, right? You can just go buy your own. $9.99, I think they are.
What do you guys think? Have you heard of the thing at KFC that's Cheesa? It's fried chicken
I think I
with
saw an ad for
mozzarella and pepperoni on top. Have you seen that?
What is
Cheesa.
that?
It's called Cheesa.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
I think
And I love
saw the
KFC, but I
commercial,
saw it.
right?
Yes.
See a commercial for it?
Yeah.
I saw the tail
Fried
end.
chicken, and then it's got mozzarella and then pepperoni on it. And there's this lady in there, this older lady. She goes, "That's that pizza." And some, this punk who needs to pull his pants up and get a job. He's
Right. Yeah.
he says, "You're right. It's not.
Just do what you do and do it really well.
Turn your hat
Don't
around,
try to
pull your
be-
pants up, and get a job."
What they going to offer soup next? And I mean, just don't like. Come on.
I know. It's like they take random. It's like you put a bunch of things in this category: donut, hot dog, burrito, and then you put hamburger, Twinkie, ice cream cone, and then they combine them, and it's like, what are you doing?
You want to hear this story?
Yes.
I have not had KFC since 2009. No, 2010 maybe. I was doing a pregame show with Dave Cowens.
Whoa, the
Fame
great
guy. Yes,
Dave
the
Cowens.
Great Dave.
Him and
Cowens.
Petrie were co-rookies of the year one year.
Yes, and he is a health guy. Like he's
Okay.
all about what he puts in his body. And he just turned me off. Let me just say that.
Okay.
And so
I love
ever
it.
since that moment,
Yeah.
I have not tried KFC.
I'm not going to eat it every night or anything, but I love it.
Do you really?
It's good.
It's been a while, man.
It's
Is it
good.
original or crispy?
I like the original.
Okay.
But I don't know about this Cheesa. I'm like, why? Why would you do that? Anyway, I'll be curious to see if that ever rivals Costco pizza in popularity.
No,
I don't think it will.
No, I tell you what, and I haven't tried it, but the Costco hot dog for $1.50.
That's world famous.
Scott's over here like,
That's
yeah.
world famous. There's no question about
No,
that.
it's world famous, right? That's
yeah,
how they
honestly.
get you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my parents go there all the time for the hot dog. and the
Dude, I
Coke
know
or
that.
whatever.
I'm your mom's friend.
Your mom's friend. They
Yeah.
pick up some Kirkland
Yeah.
golf balls and,
Yeah.
and they're out of there. Yeah.
Kyle, that's enough tomfoolery, dang it. Is the 6 spot, maybe even the 5 spot, is it there now for the Kings for the taking?
The 5 spot is within play, Whitey. I just looked at the standings, Kings fans, and I understand the Pelicans have the tiebreaker over the Sacramento Kings. But when you look at the standings right now,
you're a game behind them.
You're just a game
Same number of losses
behind them.
Yeah.
You got tonight's game against the Chicago Bulls. Win that, then you're a half game behind them. They play at Toronto tomorrow, and they have a more difficult schedule than you. I broke it down. I think the 5 spot is well within reach, and it may come down. They got one more meeting, and I understand the Pelicans are going to have the tiebreaker no matter what.
Right.
But that's a full game that can tilt the standings. And so let's say you're tied at that point. You win that game, you're in control of your own destiny. You're a game up. And so all this talk about the play-in, forget the play-in. I say the 5 seed is within reach for the Sacramento Kings.
I
Not
know
buying that.
Well, I just have to respect the Pelicans and the way they have dominated the Kings. And you've kind of taken a different view of it, I think, if I understand you correctly, which is, no, they did that, but the Kings are better, and it's going to even out. They're going to get the better of the Pelicans at some point. So I just figuring that you're looking up at them, and they have the tiebreaker. I think it's there, but it's going to be tough. The 6 seed, though, we were just talking about the Suns. It's really hard to envision the Suns staying up there.
Right.
And Kevin Durant's phenomenal, but Booker's hurt now. Their schedule's brutal. Beal's hurt. And then it comes down to Dallas also. Dallas with a bad loss yesterday.
Yes.
I think the 6 is there for the Kings. The 5, I'm not saying they can't do it. Remember, last week I said this is a play-in team. So
yeah.
So who am I to talk about the 5 seed?
You know what's interesting about Dallas? And we faced them twice still. We faced them 2 games in a row.
Back-to-back
on a
games.
Tuesday and a
Yeah.
Friday. But I'm looking at Dallas' remaining schedule. They got OKC twice. Guess who they have 3 times?
Minnesota? I
The
don't know.
Golden State Warriors. What do we want to happen there? Because who knows? The Warriors might be pushing in for a 7-8 spot or something like that. Like, I think we got to cheer for the Warriors,
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
I
Can
think,
you do that? Are you capable
I
of doing
can't.
that?
I just I can't do it. I can't do it. Maybe 1 game, but 3 games of cheering for the Warriors, I don't know if I can do it. But Warriors, we may need help from them.
Yeah.
Like, as much as we dislike them, as much as we argue with their fan base, man, it would be nice if they could do us a solid. Do us a little favor, you know? And so you look at this Dallas schedule, it's pretty easy. Like, they got Detroit twice still. They got Utah twice. It's going to be tough, man. Dallas, they've come back down to earth, though, a little bit.
Yes, they have. They've lost 2 in a row.
Yeah.
The Suns have lost 2 in a row. The Timberwolves have lost 2 in a row. And as we've said a million times in the West, you lose a couple games in a row, you start dropping like a stone.
Yes, exactly. And ultimately, though, Whitey, when you look at the Kings' schedule, they have the opportunity to control their own destiny. You got 1 against the Pelicans still. You still got Phoenix, 2 against Dallas. You know, so you play 2 against the Lakers, if I'm correct. So you play those teams sort of pushing you for that 6 spot, if you will. And you got New Orleans that you're trying to track down for the 5 spot. And so when you have, 23 games remaining, 16 of those, I believe, at home. And so why not go 16-7? Think about this.
I think it's 15 of the last 23.
Is it 15?
I think
of
so.
the last 23?
7 of the next 8.
Yeah, you might be right. But why not? Is 16-7 out of the possibility for this Sacramento Kings team?
Here's the downside. Well, I don't know if it's a downside, but something to keep in mind. They have the 15th best home record, the Kings do, in the NBA right now. Last year, they had the 18th best home record. And they said, well, we got to do better than that. And they're doing a little better than that.
See, but
that ain't going to get it done.
If I'm a Kings fan, That's frustrating to me.
Yes.
This is supposed to be one of the best home courts.
And Kings fans, dude, they
bring their game.
Although they're having a few more boos this year than we expected.
Hey,
but
and I'm okay with boos.
They're showing up and they're bringing the support.
Right. They're bringing, like, the Kings fans, you'll see tonight, Whitey. They're stoked about the win against Minnesota. They are going to be geeked up, fired up, ready for tonight.
Yep.
It's up to the players to make sure it stays that way. Don't come out and lay an egg here. Like, this is we just had Stacey King on earlier talking about the home court advantage and the fans. These fans deserve a great effort tonight. And 15 of the final 23 or whatever it is at home. Come on, man. You got, and it's not like you're facing the Bostons of the world. Like, your home schedule is actually pretty decent.
That's one of the weirdest things about the success the Kings have had the last season plus, last year and this year. If you told somebody the Kings are going to be a 3 seed, they're going to challenge for the playoffs of next year, the first thing someone would have assumed is, well, they must win like all their home games. Right? No. And the home court advantage, it's an advantage there, but it's not close to what people think that it actually is. And it hasn't been close to that. It's kind of the Kings home court advantage has been kind of a myth to this point, but I have to think there's still a chance down the stretch here for them to get that on the right track, like they did in their first year in Sacramento in '86. They won a bunch of home games late in the year, and they ended up making the playoffs. So there's still that opportunity, but they have not taken advantage of home court.
I'm looking at it, Whitey. The Utah Jazz have a better home record.
Yeah.
The Houston Rockets.
I know. I looked it up. It was stunning.
This is like, what? Like, the Lakers have a better home court record than you. Phoenix.
15th, you're like middle of the pack.
Yes.
15th best home court 15th. In this town.
Which is unbelievable, because you talk to anybody in the NBA, Sacramento's fan base, one of the best in the NBA. Like, maybe that should have been said in the players' meeting too. Hopefully they talked about that. Like, because we saw it last week. You beat the Clippers and then you come home.
Yeah.
Your crowd's fired up. They're ready. Yeah. They're proud of you, and you lay an egg.
Yeah.
That can't happen.
Chuck Swirsky's going to join us in a little bit here when we come right back. Looks like the 49ers did try to hire a big-name defensive coordinator after all. Okay. We'll dive into that here from the Golden One Center. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay mostly cloudy through the night tonight. Overnight lows will drop down into the mid-40s. Tomorrow will be in and out of clouds through the day. We may see a brief shower. Look for highs to reach the low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This year, wouldn't it be great to stop dealing with thin, brittle, shedding hair and instead have the thick, healthy, gorgeous hair you've always wanted? Well, now you can by using Hair Volume from New Nordic. Hair Volume is the all-natural solution trusted by millions of women around the world to say goodbye to thin, brittle, shedding hair. Look for Hair Volume at your local Walgreens and CVS or online at Amazon.com or NewNordicUSA.com. Go to NewNordicUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Hair Volume at your local Walgreens or CVS.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Ever since we got Xfinity, we have Wi-Fi all over the house, even in my hiding spots.
Ha! Found you.
How?
That's wall-to-wall Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Now through March 21st, get started with 200 megabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and get Wi-Fi equipment included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless bill and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Actual speeds vary.
Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
As always, thanks for being with us today. Thanks for your participation. Somebody on the chat just called me a nickname that I mentioned only because I've never been called that in my life. I appreciate it. Says, this is Mick. What is that? MCKACCM. I apologize for not knowing what that says, but you're awesome, Gleesy and Drapes.
Gleesy.
I've never been called Gleesy. That's fine. I appreciate it. But
cool with that? Okay.
Greasy Gleason, I've been called. Gleese, Whites. When I was on the I don't know if I should tell this story. When I was on the basketball team in high school, one of the guys on the team looked at me and said, N-word looked like Lee Marvin. Do you remember the actor Lee Marvin?
Oh, yeah. Lee Marvin. Somebody said that?
That's what my teammate.
Hey. Oh, man.
N-word looked like Lee Marvin.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, man. Oh, my gosh.
That's I've been called many things.
Yes, I see.
Gleesy. I had never been called Gleesy before.
That's pretty.
Yeah. What do you think?
Gleesy. Nice.
Gleesy and Drapes.
That sounds like something your wife or somebody would call you. Come here, Gleesy. Or I don't know.
A term of endearment.
Yeah,
huh?
right. Seriously, yeah.
That's what you would think. The 49ers called a lot of people looking for their next defensive coordinator. Did you ever buy into any of the talk that they were looking at Belichick?
Zero.
Maybe?
No, because that's too much of a presence to be around. It comes with too much. No,
I think there was a story that Shanahan at one point kind of vaguely asked Belichick, would you, and it came back, no, I'm not interested. But before the 49ers plan to promote Nick Sorensen and hire Brandon Staley, they looked into hiring. Have you heard who they looked into hiring?
No.
Steve Spagnuolo. Yeah, before he agreed to an extension with the Chiefs.
Can't beat him, join him.
That's all, yes. All according to Dan Graziano. before filling their defensive coordinator position Saturday with the promotion of Sorensen and hiring Brandon Staley. 49ers looked into several very intriguing options. The most intriguing would have been an all-time if you can't beat them, join them. Sources say the Niners explored the possibility of hiring Steve Spagnuolo away from the Chiefs,
that would have
their
been
defensive coordinator position.
Major move. That would have been major.
How if you're Steve Spagnuolo, and I know we just had those reports came out last week, the report cards from players.
Right.
It said it's not a great place to work. But how could Steve Spagnuolo leave the team that he just won the Super Bowl with
for a similar position?
Yeah, with a team that you just beat.
You just beat. I mean, maybe he looked at the talent or something like that and considered it. I don't know.
His contract with the Chiefs was set to expire. The Niners' interest likely was one of the reasons the Chiefs moved quickly to extend him. New deal will pay him somewhere in the neighborhood of $5 million per year to be the defensive coordinator. And so the Chiefs apparently are like, well, they got wind of this. Like, well, we better
match that.
We better take care of it right away.
Take care of you.
Wow.
What do you make of the? And I haven't been on. I don't know if you and Jay talked about it. The defensive hires by the 49ers.
The thing that stands out to me is the guy they hired, Nick Sorensen, from 2013 to 2020. He was with the Seahawks. He was a special teams coach and a linebackers coach. So, the 49ers love that kind of that cover 3 Seattle system. So this is a guy, he was in the NFL. He wasn't a star or anything, but he played. And also he is very well versed in that system. So I got to think that's one of the big reasons why
he's young too, though, right?
Yeah.
He's a young guy. But then you bring in Brandon Staley as well.
That's interesting. He replaces who's the guy that was the coach of the Chargers, and he left. He was a running back coach, Gates. He just left.
Right.
Yeah. So he's kind of taken that position.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me being anti-Niners.
I think I don't even know what you're going to say, but yes, that's definitely what it is.
But and Staley is what? The assistant head coach or associate head coach or something like that is his title?
He was placing Anthony Lynn, associate head coach.
Lynn. Lynn. Oh, that's what you're talking. Yeah, Lynn.
I apologize. Thank you. I was just looking that up. Thank you.
So, but Staley comes with a defensive background. Who's running the defense?
Well,
is it Sorensen? Or is it Staley, looking over Sorensen's shoulders?
It's a good question, but I can't imagine they would set up that kind of predicament. What's the upside?
That's why I'm questioning it. That's why I'm like, why not just hire Staley as the defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Maybe
that's a good question.
Maybe I got to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Jay, you got anything on that or no? You like these hires or what?
Yeah, I'm kind of like you guys. I'm a little skeptical to kind of see where it goes. And I think, Sorensen hasn't been anywhere near close to a defensive coordinator. And so I think they're just kind of bringing Brandon in there to have some, I guess, concrete foundation. We know he, as much as people, detract from his head coaching experience, a lot of people always talk about how good he is defensively. Just couldn't get over the hump a lot on offense, and injuries, of course, have slowed it down. And most people would probably say his decision making on going in for fourth down. But I think it's just more or less from what I know and what I've heard, Drapes, they want to keep, unlike what they did last year with Steve Wilkes, they want to keep the 4-3 look. They want to keep, the zone and the cover 2 and all, or cover 3. They want to keep that same type of schematic, game plan. So they didn't want to go out and deviate from that. And Sorensen is that guy. And it seems like everybody likes him as well, is inside hire. And I think Staley is just there for, like, look, Sorensen's never done it. Learn from Staley so Shanahan doesn't have to guide you and walk you through it. And, we can put a plan together, so to say.
Yeah, I think it might be this simple, Jay. What do you think of this? Sorensen, like you say, is a 4-3 guy. Staley, I don't think he's that well versed in the 4-3, but he's versatile. So it's a matter of Sorensen's doing it, but at the same time, Staley is kind of like an advisor to him. And if things start going sideways, then that can get kind of prickly there. But I think that's the way it's set up. Is like, this guy knows the system better than you. You got ideas, we want to hear them. But I think they've drawn a clear line here. You're not the defensive coordinator. He is. And as long as the defense plays well, that shouldn't be an issue.
And maybe, too, Shanahan doesn't want to be as involved that he had to be this past year.
That's a
with
agreed.
defense also.
Yeah.
You know, you got a guy like Staley who can handle it now.
All
right.
He's a babysitter.
They also,
yeah.
But I know you can see how, let's say the defense struggles early on. People are going to be looking at, well, Sorensen doesn't know what he's doing. Staley.
Right. He doesn't have that.
Yeah. Although he was like a defensive coordinator only 1 year himself. He had a lot of success with the Rams. And then also, according to reports, the 49ers are expected to address Brandon Ayuk after free agency, and all indications are they have every intention.
Yeah. Didn't John Lynch say that last
much
week?
To Jay's dismay.
Right. Really, Jay?
That's not true, man. You know what? Stop putting words in my mouth there, White.
Man. Get out of his pocket, Jay. Get out of Ayuk's pocket.
I didn't say. I'm just saying if it's the 49, and it doesn't matter now because the cap is so high. This conversation really doesn't even matter anymore. He's going to get whatever he wants, and the 49ers are going to extend him. So I can almost digress at this point. He'll be on the 49ers.
Yeah, and that's good.
That's good, right? Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Right. And then maybe Juwan Jennings too, although that's a little prickly because he's restricted, and there's teams that might want him. He was almost the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Almost.
How about that?
You're right. But we talked about it. Like, who's going to be the MVP? A lot of times in the Super Bowl, it's somebody outside of, unless it's the quarterback, but it's, Larry Brown, back in the day with the Cowboys, or some of these other guys like that you don't think about, and you're like, oh snap, they had a great game.
Yep. Legendary announcer, voice of the Bulls, Chuck Swirsky is going to join us when we come back. Chuck's going to tell us about DeMar DeRozan, who may be, one of the most underrated players certainly in the league, if not in the history of the league.
Yes.
Yeah, that's next. Chuck Swirsky with us when we come back from Golden One Center, the Drive Guys. It's Gleesy and Dre.
Gleesy
on Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay mostly cloudy through the night tonight. Overnight lows will drop down into the mid-40s. Tomorrow will be in and out of clouds through the day. We may see a brief shower. Look for highs to reach the low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Dr. Ken Howachek and kinesiologist Kelsey Graham discuss the Good Feet store.
The foot has a lot of detail. It has a lot of complexity. There's a lot that can go wrong. A lot of problems start in the foot and end up elsewhere. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain. When aligning the feet properly, we can see relief elsewhere. And that's the beauty of the Good Feet Arch support. It can place the feet into their ideal position and gives them the balance, the support, the comfort, and the relief of the pain. The bottom line is that the Good Feet Arch support can be a highly effective pain relief solution when nothing else has worked.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints of the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Modesto, Stockton, and Vacaville for a free fitting and test walk.
One ticket, 2 shows, the Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Exposition, plus the Big RV Show. Multiple dealers discounting all the best brands. Hundreds of wakeboard boats, travel trailers, pontoon boats, fifth wheel, personal watercraft and ATV, toy haulers, fishing boats, motorhomes, and more. One massive event. The Sacramento Boat Show and Off-Road Exposition, plus the Big RV Show. March 7th through 10th. Find discounts at 2hugeshows.com.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember,
For the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
We got the Kings and the Chicago Bulls tonight. Can the Kings capitalize on their miraculous win on Friday night? We'll find out. Nice enough to join us now, legendary voice of the Chicago Bulls, Chuck Swirsky. How are you, Chuck?
Well, thank you very much, Kevin. Good to be with you, Kyle. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again, my friend. Yes.
How about this Bulls team? Is there a thought perhaps that it would be nice for you guys to see what this team could do if they were actually ever fully healthy?
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I mean, they're not healthy.
Yeah.
So you go with what you got. And right now what they have is that they're minus not only Lonzo Ball. People fail to realize this club was 18 games over 500 when he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they were playing spectacular basketball on both ends of the floor. But you got to be fluid in the NBA, and no team is perfect. Every team has flaws, including Boston, including the defending champion Denver Nuggets. So you roll out your players, and they're without Levine, and they're without Patrick Williams. So if you really wanted to add Lonzo in that mix, they're without three starters. Then on top of that, Torrey Craig, who in my opinion is a very underrated role player in this league, it has been for a number of years. Hopefully they're going to get him back somewhere, sometime, maybe, if not on this trip, maybe back in Chicago next week. So right now, Kobe White has emerged, in my opinion, as the most improved player in the NBA.
Yeah, Kobe, I think, had 26 against us when we saw him a month ago in Chicago. What can you tell us about Alex Caruso? What's his status? Any idea?
His status, they list him as questionable, but they did the other night and he played. So I think, and again, unless we are taking the needle deeper in the purple and then the black where you're not going to be able to play, I think when you're listed as questionable, chances are they're going to play.
You're going to play.
You know, just like
Man,
De'Aaron
he's a
Fox.
difference maker, too,
Yes,
isn't he?
is. Yes, he is. I mean, he is a sensational player because he plays defense 1 to 5. I mean, whether it was Giannis, whether it's Durant, I mean, he gets right underneath the grill. And he is a tough player. And it's a pleasure to watch where in this day and age where everyone's shooting threes and everyone's so concerned about putting points on the board, he embraces defense and he loves it.
Yeah, it's almost like, what's that guy doing? No, that's defense.
Right. they play that now.
Is that how you do that? Speaking of greatness, I know that guys had kind of a tough game against the Bucks, but DeMar DeRozan joins the 23,000 point club. You've been doing the NBA for a long time. Can you put into perspective how good he is, how much he's meant to this franchise, and how perhaps underrated he is? I think he's vastly underrated.
You know what, Kevin, I'm glad you said this because, and Kyle knows this from his days in the Eastern Conference, seeing DeMar with Toronto and then just a cup of coffee with San Antonio. But, you know, you mentioned the points. His leadership is off the charts. He has taken a stable of young kids on the Bulls that right now are probably in that range of 8 to 10 in the rotation, but he makes them feel like, hey, you know what? You're going to come in. You never know when you're getting to get your number called. And whether that's Phillips, whether that's Terry, whether that's Onrilla Patim, who had a really nice game the other night against Cleveland. The truth of the matter is you cannot measure what DeMar DeRozan has meant to this franchise, along with Toronto, and Pops loves him in San Antonio. So he goes past 23,000. He's headed to the Hall of Fame. And yet here we are talking about a mid-range jump shooter.
Right.
And everyone knows what's coming. He's going to get the ball on the left block. He's going to spin baseline. He'll do the fade from about 13 to 18 feet. Or he'll set up at the top of the key. He'll do a double pump at the top of the key, hoping that his defender will bite, draw a foul. He went to the foul line the other night 19 times.
Wow.
Yep.
So he's still drawing the fouls out there. Wow,
Yes.
that's impressive. And I think, you know, more so than his actual game, Chuck, in today's day and age when stars, as they get older, start looking at, all right, where can I get a ring? You know, let me go here. Let me force my way out here. I haven't heard any of that from DeMar. You know, he's 34 years old. Seems like he reports for duty every single night. No complaints. You know, it is what it is with him.
Well, how about this? He's 34, as you mentioned, Kyle. He leads the NBA in minutes per game.
Wow.
Okay. And he is second overall in total minutes. Number one is Kobe
White, right? Yeah.
And so you've got two players right now on different ends of the spectrum age-wise, but all they do is they show up and they play.
They're not managing their loads, are
no,
they?
they don't. And I'll tell you what, Billy Donovan always says, hey, I got to take you out. You got to get 3 or 4 minutes on the bench. He hates coming out. And you know what? Here's a guy, he is egoless. He just loves the game, and he will do one-on-one interviews, and he will never turn down a request from whether it's local or national media, because he's very big on expressing how he feels about the game of basketball, and more importantly about his private life, which is now public because of mental wellness. He has just started, I'm not sure you saw on his YouTube channel, Dinners with DeMar.
Yes,
and he
I
has
saw that.
very open dialogue.
Who was that, like last week or 2 weeks ago or something?
started
It was
2
very
weeks ago.
recently.
Yep.
Yeah.
With Draymond, and now he's got Dwayne Wade coming on. And I think it's so refreshing for a player to say, you know what, I needed help, and I had to seek out help because I got off the track. And he's just a fabulous human being. He really is.
What do you think of the job that Mike Brown's done here? And I know you guys don't get to see the Kings but twice a year, but obviously he's turned things around here. You were an NBA announcer when the Kings were one of the most exciting teams in the league, and you were an announcer when they weren't. Now they're climbing that mountain again, it would appear. How about the job Mike Brown's done here?
Well, I think it's fabulous. I mean, you look at the personnel, number one. I mean, your front office has got it together here. I mean, you've got talent. At the end of the day, Mike Brown is an outstanding head coach, but you're an outstanding head coach because you've got great players. At the end of the day, you got to have players in this league. And I mean, you've got, in my opinion, I mean, the job that Sabonis is doing night after night after night. And then you got De'Aaron Fox. And I mean, I saw plenty of Keegan Murray on the Big Ten Network because we're based in Chicago, of course. And we saw plenty of Iowa games. And I mean, just to see how this club has morphed into an outstanding Western Conference team in a very tough conference in the East. You know, when people start talking about Boston, which in my opinion is the best team I've seen
they're
all season. I mean, without any doubt, Boston is the best team I've seen. And we haven't played the Clippers yet. But, I mean, you've got Boston, and then you got Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Cleveland, but they've got injuries now. I mean, Mitchell is going to be out now for Cleveland. You don't know when Embiid is coming out. He's hoping to be back before the end of the season. You know, Milwaukee's still trying to find themselves with the coaching change, although it appears post All-Star break that they've kind of turned the corner a little bit, but they really haven't played a lot of great competition. So when you look at the big picture here, I'm saying, you know, out West, I mean, I don't know how these teams do it every night.
Every night, yeah.
I mean, there is no soft spot. I mean, you can go right down the list and say to yourself, okay, that might be a dub. You can't say that.
Right.
No, yeah, we know that, you know, 100%. Chuck, you know, you used to be the voice of the Toronto Raptors as well.
Yep.
And, you know, here in Sacramento, we talk a lot about Mike Brown. We talk about Jordy Fernandez. Tell me about Jay Triano, and what he means to Canadian basketball and what kind of guy the Kings have in him.
Well, number one, he's a Canadian basketball icon from his days at Simon Fraser near the Vancouver area playing hoops. And the head coach, he played for the national team with Bill Wennington, by the way, my broadcast partner. And then he coached the national team, did a great job, not a good job, but a great job. And this guy's a lifer, and he is one of the most intelligent basketball coaches I have ever been around. And I'm not saying that because I like him personally, which I do. I'm looking at it strictly, Kyle, from an X's and O's basketball standpoint. I think the Kings have a wonderful coaching staff, and a key reason is because of a guy like Jay Triano.
Chuck Swirsky's our guest, legendary voice of the Bulls. As far as the matchup tonight, we talked with Stacey King about this earlier. Are the Bulls really going to focus on trying to slow things down? We know the Kings are trying to push them, and the Bulls don't do that.
No, we don't. I mean, listen, we're near the bottom in pace.
Right.
And you are who you are. And I think the intention was, Kevin, to start the season shooting more threes. Well, they've done that. But the pace, I think they wanted to play faster. And they're realizing that the personnel just doesn't fit that mode. So you have to play within your strengths. And their strength is right now, let's get the ball as much as we want to push it. get the ball over the midcourt line, and let's start running some high screen and rolls with Vooch, and let's throw some kickouts because Kobe loves the elbow threes. And you look at right down, I mean, DeMar is DeMar, and you know what you're going to get out of him with his mid-range jumper and trying to go to the foul line. But, I'm looking at the volume of shots and where this team is at right now with the loss of Levine. And it's been a huge loss on many different fronts. And so you get in the game of the fourth quarter, and this club still has enough to win, but they've got to play near flawless basketball in order to get a W, especially on the road.
Chuck Swirsky joining us. Got a great book out. Always a pleasure. Chuck sent me a copy, signed copy as well. Appreciate that, Chuck. When I look at your team, Chuck, and just over the years, you guys have been in the mix, but haven't been good enough to be a contender.
Yep. Haven't
been bad enough to bottom out. There's a lot of chatter at the trade deadline. We're out here in Sacramento. Oh, can we get Caruso? Oh, what about DeMar? But management has decided to stand pat. What do you make of that from a broadcasting standpoint? You're calling the games. Are you surprised by that, especially in this day and age where, you got some teams, tanking and doing all this?
Yep. Here's my response to that, Kyle. It's a great question, and it's a valid one. And here's my response. We don't know, because we think we know, but we don't know what goes on in a conference room with your owner, with your general manager, with your player personnel director, with your head coach. We have no idea. We can speculate, but that's all there is.
Right.
It's speculation. We don't know if they're saying, listen, you know what, we put out feelers, or this is what we are receiving from different clubs. And do we really want to go this direction at this time? Maybe we should revisit in July. Okay, so they elected to stay with what they have. And I think what the goal is, I think they wanted to play in? Absolutely not. I think going into the season, they were believing that with the Eastern Conference, they could be knocking on the door for 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's not obviously going to happen. They're locked into the 9th.
Right.
And so they're going to get Atlanta at home, or Kevin, they're going to get Toronto at home, maybe the Nets. I don't think anyone wants to get the 10th seed. All these teams are losing every night, it seems like, whether it's the Hawks and the Raptors now without Scotty Barnes, Hawks without Trae Young. You got the Nets that who knows what's going on there. So I think the Bulls can win the 9-10 game in Chicago. Then you look at the Eastern Conference and you say to yourself, all right, the 7 and 8, and that fluctuates. And let's say it's going to be Orlando. Let's say Orlando plays Indiana for the 7-8, and they lose, and they get Orlando at home, Bulls and Magic. I think those young kids, this is just my opinion, and Orlando has beaten the Bulls 3 times this year. But I think you put Orlando with those young kids, and all of a sudden the first pressure game that they've ever played in, and I could be wrong, but the first time you go through this as a young player, where this is a game
Must win, kind of, yeah.
Yep, you lose, you're out.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these kids haven't been in that game since the NCAA tournament. If they, in fact, went to the tournament, I think the Bulls could steal that game. And then, of course, they play Boston.
But that would be considered a success, you think, in Chicago,
Well,
getting into the top 8, an actual playoff.
Well, I mean, consider that you would go into it without Levine and Williams and, with a rash of injuries that, we haven't even talked about. But I would think if you got to the 8th seed and you said to yourself, we started 5-14.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, the Bulls are over 500 since that, unbelievable, it was a horrible start.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least they showed some fight.
Yeah.
And
Chuck,
that's all you want.
We're up against it, but I just want to say, I'm rooting for Lonzo Ball because you're right. You mentioned it. When he was healthy, this team was playing some good basketball. And ever since he's been down, Kobe's done a great job. Io's done, but there's something special about him.
Yep. And that's another guy that defends, right?
Yeah, and he defends. And so I know he's doing some basketball activities. It's still a long road back. That's heartbreaking to me. I was a big Lonzo Ball fan.
The thing is that his dad overshadows what his sons have accomplished, with LaMelo and Lonzo. I'll say this for Lonzo. He is an outstanding human being. I've met him several times. He spends time in Chicago, goes back home to LA to work out. But, I mean, he's a very nice young man. The whole family is actually. And one thing that we really miss about Lonzo, other than everyone you mentioned, his defense and his three-point shooting, his passing ability.
Oh, yeah.
From 75 feet down the floor, is his vision is amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
So all of us are wishing the very best. I think I can speak for everyone in the NBA. You never like to see a player not even entering. He is just entering his prime.
Yeah.
He hasn't even gotten to the prime, and this happens. And unfortunately now, he's got a road to go. I mean, and we're wishing him the best.
Well, Chuck, two things. One, thank you very much for your time. And two, you've been nice enough to be a guest on various shows many times over the years. But I think this is the first time you've had to prepare with us up here in the same row, jabbering away. So apologies for that.
I'll tell you what. I love Sacramento. Bill Weddington has told me so much about this city. He played on the team that won only one road game. Do you
really?
Mata team?
Yeah.
I remember.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should ask him about that because I mean you go through.
Oh no, there he is back there. Okay.
Road victory.
There he is. Up next, Bill. You up next.
Okay, but he does. He loves Sacramento.
Yes.
Has a lot of friends here.
Well, thank
anyway,
you very
guys,
much.
Thanks so much.
All right, my man.
Yeah,
See you,
break
Chuck.
all the night.
I'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
now.
Sir.
All right.
Bulls announcer, former Sacramento King Bill Wennington. Next, when we return to the Gold One Center, Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
At LL Floyd, we've been a trusted partner to pros for over 30 years. With over 400 nationwide warehouses full of in-stock, job-ready inventory, you'll get what you need. And our exclusive pro pricing means that pros never pay retail. Because at LL Floyd, all we do is floors. So we're going to do it right. Sign up for a free pro account today to start getting pro benefits.
It's Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you want a deal that's a slam dunk, go see the winning team at Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is your truck headquarters with all your American-made favorites, like America's best-selling F-Series, F-150s, and Super Duties, or spacious new Explorers and Expeditions, plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports, all in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford, right here in Sacramento. You can buy any new Ford with zero down on approved credit, save big with low interest finance rates, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Check out the huge selection of inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership to see their most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. They'll help you out. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 35 years and counting.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Febreze. Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my bag. Nice. Febreze fabric spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no accounts to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. You can find Active Liver at Amazon.com, or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Go to new, NORDICUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New year, new you, New Nordic. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Yeah, heading down the home stretch here, getting ready for game night, bottom of the hour. The Kings and the Bulls tonight. Kevin Gleason, Kyle Draper, nice enough to join us. He's had 2 tours with the Kings. Can't do justice to his vast resume in a short time here, but of course, 2-time champion with the Bulls, and he is now an outstanding Bulls analyst. Bill Winnington with us. Thank you, Bill, for your time. How are you?
I am doing surprisingly well considering where the Bulls are, but other than that, it's good.
3-time champ, right?
Yeah,
Got 3 rings, right?
3, the second 3, yes.
Yeah, where are those rings at right now?
In safety deposit box at the bank.
Still got them, though. Still got them.
Oh, yeah, I still got them. Yeah, I don't know where they're going to go. They don't go out much.
Let me ask you, Bill. So Whitey just said 2 tours of duty in Sacramento.
Yes.
We'll get into the first one in a minute. But you ended your career in Sacramento.
Yes.
Too, right?
Yep.
What was that like coming back? Like I said, you're 24-5 and 47, I think, or something in your first tour. What was it like ending your career in Sacramento, especially after having won 3 championships?
And you joined a team that's kind of on the upswing.
Yeah.
Right?
It was it was good. It was actually my boy Scott Pollard just had a heart transplant right away. So Scott's doing well, but it was probably one of his best years of his career here. And I was brought in as like the 3rd center behind Vlade and Scott to play. And I ended up playing in only 7 games. So I ended up being more of a mentor to some of the younger guys, and tried to help Jason Williams a little bit with staying focused with what's on the floor and not get distracted by the outside stuff, but also to understand what the outside stuff is, how he could actually make a lot of money if he played it right. But it was a great team. Rick Adelman was a coach. A lot of fun to play for Rick. Rick was phenomenal. And that team was just a lot of fun. I mean, obviously with Vlade and Chris Webber, a lot of things, good times happened. So it was
great
fun.
Passing team, right? That's one reason it was so much fun to watch and to play on.
It was, there were really not a whole lot of sets. It was, Rick just said, bring the ball up the floor, spread the floor, have proper spacing, and kind of just go.
Wow.
And they just moved the ball.
Play basketball.
Yeah,
right?
and it was fun. And everyone got along. Everyone understood what they needed to do. And they worked hard and got it done. And just unfortunately, the Lakers weren't away.
Yes, every year.
Every year,
Lakers.
right? Every year. Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's like for the Bulls in the beginning it was Detroit, then for New York and Utah it was the Bulls.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting, Bill. Last year, the Kings had such a great year. And this year, expectations were high. And it reminds me of that team that you played on. I know you weren't on the 99 Kings, the lockout year. They won 27 games. They almost beat Utah. And expectations were so high for that year you came back. There was a lot of talk before the season of they're going to win 50. Well, they didn't, but it just takes time, obviously, doesn't. I think you guys won 44 that year.
Yeah, and it's everything really has to go right. Everyone's got to play well. You can't have any injuries. You can't really have that many bad games. And if you have a bad game, one guy can have a bad game. You can't have two guys have a bad game. And there's really so much more involved. And I get into arguments a lot of times with guys about basketball. It's not just talent. A lot of teams have talent. Every player in the NBA, 1 through now 18, has a college guy. The whole team was a college star. Right. And play. Now, they may not play much in the NBA. They may not get off the bench. They may be a two-way player, but in college they could play. So on a given night, if we got a guy Bittman on Lot Bittman. He's come in now last couple of games and been huge because we have so many injuries. He's playing really well, shooting the ball well. His hustle on defense has been fantastic, playing well. So it just has to work out. And you get a couple of guys that have a bad night at the same time, and you lose a game that maybe you're not supposed to lose. And those end up in the long run, they hurt you because maybe you're not in the right position for the playoffs and your matchups are different now. And it just goofy. I mean, like we played the Lakers that year was in the first round.
Yes.
And it was like, had we not played the Lakers in the first round, maybe we meet them in the Western Conference Final.
Yeah. Game 4 of that series, which was not here, but in Sacramento, a lot of Kings players, and I was at that game, said it was about the loudest it's ever been in that building.
The old Arco?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
It was. Say what you want. Everyone say what you want about Arco Arena. And I know Phil Jackson had some.
You're right.
some words. And I heard Chuck talk. I love Sacramento. I think it's great. And actually, I was fortunate enough on my tours to play in both Arco arenas. The first time I played in the first Arco arena that was maybe a little bit bigger than the court is down there right now. And then obviously the other Arco, the newer Arco, which is now the old Arco. So it was loud. I mean, the fans in Sacramento are phenomenal. They really get behind the team and get loud. And it's just unfortunate with as great a team as that was. And I had high expectations too. And that's part of the problem why maybe it's so disappointing is because expectations were higher.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it didn't work out. And the Lakers just had our number that year. And, Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah, they're a pretty good team. Yeah.
Pretty solid. Bill Winnington joining us, former Sacramento King, 3-time champ with the Bulls. Let's go back to your first year in Sacramento. Do you remember that year? And I know it was only 1 year, 25-57, the record. Kevin, you were right. 101-59, a loss at Charlotte that season. Like, take me back then, because I'll be honest with you, Bill. I'm from Philadelphia. So L Train,
that's your problem.
Lionel Simmons was my guy growing up. Like, we idolized L Train. And so Dwayne Coswell, Temple guy.
Yep.
And so we kept an eye on what was going on here. Tell me about that year.
Lionel Simmons, first of all, a phenomenal player. I love him. Rookie coming in the league and was playing like a vet right away. Got an opportunity to play, and he's playing for Dick Motta, who doesn't like rookies.
That's when you guys had 4 rookies, right? Wasn't
we
it
had
Coswell
Dwayne,
and Bonner,
Lionel,
and
Travis Mays, and
Lionel
and Coswell.
Yeah.
Mays, Bonner, Coswell, and Ricky. No, he wasn't a rookie. He was
Rick Callaway? No.
No, was it Ricky? Was it Callaway? He wasn't a rookie though.
He wasn't a rookie.
There was. But we did.
Yeah,
we had four rookies that played a lot.
Yeah.
And it didn't start off that way. And I got traded. They brought me in. Dick Motta wanted me in because he wanted me to help the guys understand the offense.
He had coached you in Dallas, right?
He coached me in Dallas for 3 years. And I know. And Dick he's old school. He's hardline. It's his way or the highway. And you got to run his stuff. And he didn't take a whole lot of anything. It's But off the court, fun coach, fun to be around, great guy. You can go hang out with him. You're gonna have a lot of fun. But on the court,
It's his way. And so he trades for me. He also traded for Eric Lechner to get Eric Lechner to come in. I don't remember where, out of Wyoming, but I don't remember who he traded with. Maybe Utah.
I was going to say Utah.
Maybe it was Utah. But so he brought Eric in, and Eric was younger than me. I was 29 at the time. No, I wasn't. I was 27.
You were 27.
Yeah, I was 27 at the time. I'd played 5 years in Dallas, so I was 27. And Eric was young, like a second or third year player. I'd been around 5 years, and Dick kind of knew what I was, but I ended up starting the season, and we had Ralph Sampson, Dwayne, and Ralph never played. Dwayne wasn't playing much at first, and Eric just just didn't click here with him.
Right.
And he and Dick had it odd. So I was starting for a while. Then we weren't doing well. And I remember we're in Houston, and Antoine Carr and I got into it in practice. And
Big Dog, right?
Big Dog.
Yeah.
It's the only I've been in a few scuffles, a few scuffles throughout my NBA career. And that was the only time I realized. Well, I was thinking to myself, "What have I got myself into?" Like, why? Like, and it was. I mean, it was scary for a minute, but it was. I mean, it was. But then after that, or that game, Dick Motta decided, you know what, we're not winning, so I'm going to play the young guys because they're going to be here next year, and we want to see what's going on. So now I no longer started. I started coming off the bench, and I still played, but. You know,
right. But you were 1 for 5 beyond the arc last year. You were kind of the original stretch 5.
I did go 1 for 5, and I realized after that year, I don't remember if I made my first one or what. But again, I didn't get back then. We didn't run plays for me to get 3. Shot clock's running down, and I'm standing out there. I'm standing out there picking my nose, like just wasting time because we're doing an isolation. And all of a sudden, the ball flies out and hits me, and I look at the shot clock, and there's a second. It's like, oh,
what am I going to do with this? Yeah.
So if you look at my career, I have 2 years where I shot 100% from behind the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 for 1.
Nice.
I made darn sure every time I got the ball after that one, my foot was on the line.
Right.
You know how guys now are looking down and moving their feet back? I was looking down and moved my foot forward. And I made a few more, but they weren't threes, and I don't care. I finished the year. I bust Steve Kerr's chops back in the 90s. I said, Steve, man, I'm shooting 100% from behind the 3-point line. You're only shooting 45. I'm better than you.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me about playing with Mike. You know, so much has been made about The Last Dance. You got guys on a barnstorming tour out in Australia now. Set the record straight for me. What was it like, those 3 championship runs?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I like winning, so it was freaking fantastic. It was, you know what? It's the barnstorming tour, I think, got a lot of negative publicity. I think they publicized negative. I know a guy in Australia that saw it. He said it was wonderful.
Okay.
It was positive.
Stacey King was on with us, and he said basically the same thing.
It was great. It was really a great outing. Now, I don't know. I didn't see it, but I trust this guy. He lives in Sydney, just outside of Sydney, and saw the show in Sydney, and he said it was really positive. It was really good. Just great stories and things that happened. And again, every story has perspective, no matter who's telling it. And who's telling it has a different perspective, whether they actually saw it or heard it, and how many times did they tell it to change it. Because, you know, that's the way it works.
Yeah, you tweet
but
it in.
It was Michael's perspective. Everything that was in The Last Dance happened.
It did.
That was everything happened. Right. It was there. And Michael actually made no bones about it. He was hard on guys. If you weren't ready to play 100%, and not back down from anyone, he'd call you out on it. He would call you out in practice and make you miserable. But you had to, if you understood that, and you worked on your game or whatever it was that you had to work on, it might have just been your mental attitude. You got it, and you just had to understand what he was doing. Some guys took it personally. And had our time dealing with it. Well, I can't talk to me that way, and it is, but it's not what it is. If you understand Michael, not only did he want to be the best player, he wanted, and that wasn't even paramount. Paramount was he wanted to be on the best team. He had to win. And if you know Michael, everything he does, he has to win. They talk about he gambles. Well, yeah, on everything, and he wants to win on everything. And if he doesn't, he's going to come back at you and keep coming until he finally wins.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of players do it. I mean, if something happens, they need that motivation, especially with the better players. They really need that motivation. It's got to come because they've been competing at such a high level all the time. They need something to help them push themselves even further. So if you say something in a paper, if you do something or say something on the court, he's going to remember that and elevate his game. And he finds a way. He's got one of the highest pain thresholds I've ever seen, and the strongest minds to just will himself and push him through just about anything to win and to get what he wants on the court. And so playing with that every night was phenomenal. And for me, and I had a little bit. I like to tell people I cheated because I played at St. John's with Chris Mullen.
Oh yeah,
he was very similar. So I knew how the hell to get out of the way.
Right. Mully was similar, huh?
Mully's a gym rat, and he just understands the game and pushes himself. So I found in college, I thought I worked hard, and I obviously I did. But when I got to St. John's, I found out that I'm not working. Wow, I'm not working as hard as I thought I was. Because look at this guy. I mean, he's all American in the Hall of Fame now, and was an Wooden Award winner in college. So now I found myself keeping up. Like I gotta do more. Like Chris is like, we just had a 3-hour practice and we went home and as freshmen, Chris and I were roommates, and Chris said, all right, see ya. I said, where are you going? I got a little bit of homework to do. He said, I'm going back to the gym. Excuse me? We just had a 3-hour practice. It's now 8:00 at night. We had dinner and we're like, I'm going back to the gym.
That was his homework.
And I'm like, what are you gonna do? Like, and we're freshmen. We're 18, 19 years old. I'm like, yeah, right. You're going to
yeah.
All right. So the first night I don't go. The second night he comes back, I'm going back to the gym. Okay. So he goes, and I said, you know what? Let me just go. Come on. He ain't really going to the gym. Come on.
Yeah. Let me go.
Oh, he's in the gym and he's working. I'm like, okay. I run downstairs, get my stuff, and I go out and we start playing. Within the first month of the season, we had like half the team going back and shooting and just scrimmaging and getting shots up because Chris was doing it. And we had good leaders, David Russell and Billy Goodwin, they were juniors at the time, but they were kind of our leaders. And they'd come back. And we ended up getting a lot of guys to go back in the gym. And Chris kind of kept that going all 4 years.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you look at your best player, what he's doing. And if he's working harder than you are when he doesn't have to,
wow,
you got to do it. And Michael was the same way. So Michael's getting to practice early, staying late. He's doing every little thing. Phil's doing the yoga after practice, doing this. And if he's doing it, the best player in the world, and like Chris was doing it, one of the best players in college basketball, you kind of got to do it. And if you don't, you're not going to be around very long.
Bill Wennington with us here as we get ready for the Bulls and the Kings. What do you make, Bill, of the changes in the way the game is played now? We understand with analytics, it's 3 are in the key. Far cry from the way you played with some great teams. What do you think of the changes that we're seeing as the game evolves?
I really try not to. It hurts.
Really?
It hurts. You know what though? There's no basketball to me used to be a thinking man's game where you ran certain plays to run the counter after. Right. So you'd run low posts, get a guy going down low to set up a 3-point shot. But now everyone's just setting up 3-point shots 100% of the time.
Yeah.
100. So it's and the sad thing is everyone's running exactly the same offense,
right.
Unless you got Minnesota, you got 2 bigs. Cleveland's got 2 bigs. I know I'm missing another team's got a couple, but it's rare now. So everyone's running really the same stuff where you start on the outside, you're moving the ball, pass it, and some teams pass the ball a lot and move, and other teams will have 2 passes if you get that many and a shot, but it's all to get the same type of shot. There's no, and honestly, I think our best lineup is when Drummond and Vooch play together.
Really? Oh,
I love that lineup
like
because Vooch is a willing passer.
Yeah.
He used to be able to shoot the 3.
Right. Yeah.
And he still can, but you can't, either one of them, if you take your biggest guy and put him on the 1, the other guy goes and posts up. And how do you stop it? Because they can both post up. And Andre Drummond just knows how to rebound. I call him, he's a 7-foot Dennis Rodman. Now, I want to say Dennis was a better all-around player and just athletically, defensively.
Yeah.
But Drum is good. He's quick. He can switch on to guards and kind of slow him down a little bit. He's got quick hands up on the top. Once every other game, he gets a steal and goes down for a dunk on the the guard 5 interchange. The screens that everyone runs up top.
Yeah,
he just pops it out and goes. And he's got a good little explosion. He gets down the floor pretty quick. So I like that. But that's rare.
Yeah.
And even Billy, I think, is a little hesitant because matchup wise, it can create some issues at the other end.
Yep.
But I'm the guy that says, well, you match with me. And I honestly feel, and again, I'm not a coach. I'm an ex-player and have been doing this for 20 years. If you got a guy on the floor, and Phil was very good at this, you got to put the players on the floor in positions to be successful.
Yep.
And if you got Andre Drum, there's no use having him sitting out at the 3-point line.
No way.
Have him down low. Have him run screen rolls. Have him involved and to occupy a defender. So now you got to have 5 guys actively defending 5 guys. Now you can't cheat. So when you do run a screen on the outside, teams will get into a rotation, and that's the Bulls' biggest downfall now.
You guys had that play with Javon Carter where he had the open layup and kicked it out because everybody's I'm just sorry to bring that up. You're giving me that look. You had to call that game, right? Like,
yes,
that was
I
a
did.
tough one, huh? That was a tough one.
And you should have seen the reaction of the guys on the bench.
Right. Like, you're there.
I hate it when guys do that and there's like one defender back and not even, he's kind of out of position and you kick it out. There were no defenders back. I mean, he literally had a layup and got to the rim and kicked it out, and then we missed the shot, lose the rebound, and it's like, I'm old school that way, and I get it. 33% from behind the 3-point line is better than 50% in 10 shots. You take 10 shots from each. 33 is better than 50.
50, yeah.
Well, I'm going to be honest. When you look at our games, when we shoot below 33% from behind the 3-point line, we're shooting 55 to 60% from 2. Now, the problem is you got to take more than 10 shots from there then. So if you shoot 30 3-pointers, if you only shoot 20, you'll get some of those points back. And the way we play defense and having lack of scoring sometimes, that's sometimes not enough. But it's still we got some guys who can finish at the rim and score. We got, in my opinion, 2 of the best mid-range game guys in DeMar and Kobe.
Yeah.
And Zach, when he was healthy, that could score and get, anything from 15 to 8 feet in the rim and be very successful or at the rim. And just unfortunate for us right now, our 3-point shooting is just really struggling. Right. And Kobe was really hot for a while. Io was unconscious for a long stretch. He was shooting like 50% over a 6 or 7 game stretch from both field goal and 3-point line, and just playing terrific. But legs getting a little heavy right now.
Right. Yeah. We got to run, unfortunately. I have to squeeze in one more. Maybe you give a 1-word answer. What word would you use to describe Domas's father? Well, because you played against Arvidas, right?
Yes. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
He was really good, and it's a shame he got to the NBA so late because he was actually way better. When I saw him, I was supposed to play him when we were 18, and he was on a Russian team, and we were over in Romania, I think, but he hit his head on the rim and had to get 13 stitches across his head. And we're looking at, so the consolation was we had to play Dachenko, who was like 7'5".
Wow.
And just a big guy that beat the crap out of us. But he was just such an athlete. He was, he's all of 7 feet and more, and just so athletic, like your son is now. But I even think even more athletic than he was. But
thank you. Yeah, very much.
We got to run, Bill.
All right.
Appreciate it very much.
Appreciate it. Have a great call, man.
All right.
All right. Good luck
that's
tonight.
going to do it for the drive, guys. Stick around. Game night is next from the Gold One Center on Saturday.